OldFreakyGamer.com. This is episode 26, titled The Crippling Game Market. Now your host, who's a very big pain in my ass. Give it up for the dark demonic lord himself, Mr. Mike.
Oh, well, thank you, everybody. Also, thank you, Mr. Eric Cartman. Yes, Eric Cartman, the wit, the brains, with all the fat included. Yes, Mr. Eric Cartman was gracious enough to come on and announce me on my show today. Yeah.
Dude, go fuck yourself.
Oh, wow. What language? What language for, what are they, 12 years old? 10, 12? I forgot. Right now, they should be like 30 years old since South Park came around, but they're still like, what, 12 years old or something like that?
Dude, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. So I got Eric Cartman on my soundboard. I did a little editing here to get him to start up the show here. I hope that was loud enough. I'll have to listen to it back. I can't listen to anything through the speakers. I can hear him a little bit, but I can't truly hear it until I actually listen back to the audio. So hopefully he was loud enough. If not, the next time around, I'll try to make the next on digital AI host a little louder. You know, this is my first time around. I just did this at a whim. I just quickly did some AI writing and stuff, audio writing for the AI, and quickly mashed it all together for this podcast. But yeah, everybody, welcome to the GamezAttack podcast, which is a podcast about video games and such, and me playing around with interesting technology like these text-to-speech voice AI bots, and pretty interesting. This is from one of those free sites where you get a little limited amount of text you can put into there, and then they speak. Then you got to pay for it. But what they don't figure people will do is record part of that audio text, and then add more text to it next time for the person or character to speak for the next thing, and then you can just edit it all together later. Now, I'm sure if you've got a lot of stuff to talk about and whatnot, that might be a little bit more difficult. That might take a little bit more time. But if you're just starting up a show or something and you just want the character to say the lines like this.
What's up? Eric Cartman here to tell you that you are listening to the GamezAttack podcast here at OldFreakyGamer.com. This is episode 26, titled The Crippling Game Market. Now your host, who's a very big pain in my ass. Give it up for the dark demonic lord himself, Mr. Mike.
Yeah, when you're doing something like that, right up to the part where he insults me, that's where I had to cut it off, and then I had to add in the insult and stuff on the next go around with the text-to-speech bot. And then I took them all, put them all into my audio. You know, I recorded them with my computer, of course, because they won't let you download them either unless if you pay them to do it. So I also recorded it on my computer, put it into my audio thing, which I still have open here. Hold on. I forgot to close this. I thought I had it closed, but I did not. That's another thing I should make sure I have closed. Now it's closed, so it should work. Now my computer doesn't have to waste cycles on that. But anywho, it does a decent job for what I would need it to do. If you're, like I said, if you needed to do some long text-to-speech talk and whatnot, yeah, sure, go ahead and pay for it, I guess. But this is good for what I want. Just a little gimmick stuff, and excuse me for my nose, it's still itchy and stuff like hell. I just clipped some, nose hairs, grooming, gotta groom. So, and of course I got my sinuses going on, so that's going on. Hold on one second. Okay, I think that worked. You know what the best part about when I do this show is, even though I'm not doing it live and I don't podcast live or anything, because, anything can be going on, I love that I have the ability to just pause pause and do something and come back and you don't even know because I'm just quickly hitting the pause button on the machine or on my board here. So it's really cool when I podcast. I know there's a lot of the podcasters and people do it live. It's hard enough for me to play video games on live, to do those live, but to do a podcast live, I don't know, especially with takes or whatever I do. And you know my podcasts, they're not always the best, but I try the best I can. I don't try to justify how well my podcasts are recorded or whatnot, but I think I do a decent job. I think I try to make something really good out of these podcasts, these gaming podcasts and such. But yeah, this whole voiceover thing, I tried it once a bit ago, but now I found a new program. Who knows how long that'll last online, that I can do a little bit more with a little bit more voices and stuff. So it's not just the same old. But yeah, you never know. Maybe in the future I might sign up for one of these services just for fun and do like a whole show or something with these voices and stuff. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be really neato. Or if I want to do voicemail or mail questions and stuff. Whenever somebody sends a question into OldFreakyGamer@gmail.com, that is OldFreakyGamer@gmail.com, for your questions and stuff, or even in the comments section on YouTube/OldFreakyGamer and under the podcast, GamezAttack podcast section, where is the only place you can comment on my site, and a few random videos that I might allow commenting on, but otherwise you can only comment under the GamezAttack podcast, not my individual videos. I mentioned this before, it's not that I don't want comments under them, I just want all the comments and questions and stuff underneath just one hub. I don't want to be searching and going to each individual video talking about it. I know that sounds stupid because it's not like YouTube doesn't announce or let you know when you got comments in each video and stuff. It's just, I don't need a comment for every video I do. For the podcast and a few random videos that I might want comments for, and just the podcast itself, if you go to, like I said, email me at oldfreakygamer@gmail.com for your comments and questions. It just makes it simpler for me. Makes it easy. I'm on a, should I say production budget? I don't know. My production budget's whatever I want it to be, because like I said, I don't make money from this. I just do this stuff for fun. And it's good. But send in your questions, comments, any gaming related stuff. OldFreakyGamer@gmail.com, folks, or YouTube.com/OldFreakyGamer under the GamezAttack podcast section. But yes, I would love to go forward down the road, add in some like questions and stuff, and have like Cartman or somebody else read the questions and stuff like that to me and put them on there, and makes it better than just me reading them and talking about them. I don't get very many of them, but when I do, sometimes I direct message, because it's a lot of times I forget to even talk about the questions or comments on the podcast. But when I do, I might direct message you back and stuff like that too, if you want that. But mostly I would eventually, going forward, I'm going to try to post questions, comments, and stuff like that on this podcast, video, audio form, stuff like that. But trying out some new things. Also trying out this brand new, trying out. What's trying out? I got a brand new Stream Deck. I got what is this? The 25 key one? What is this? 1, 2, 3. I forgot how many keys it was. It's like 1, 2, 3. Oops. I went to mode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16. 32 key mode. So 32 keys. I thought it was a 36 or 32. It is 32. What am I smoking? See what I'm saying, folks? This is why I don't do podcasts live, because when I got to do things like this and actually think once in a while, it's a 32 key version of it. I originally had the 15 key version, the small one, the original Stream Deck, and I love it. I loved it to death. I still do, and I have it nicely packaged. I cleaned it up, packaged it away, but I wanted more real estate. I wanted more button real estate so I can do more stuff with it, especially for things like if I want to mute myself. Like right now, I can mute, and then I turn it back on, and now you can hear me again, because originally I had these special hotkeys and stuff mapped on the Elgato regular Stream Deck, and I ran out of real estate, and I always wanted a little extra real estate for like stuff like this.
Knock, knock, open up the door. Looks like you're fucked.
You know, little stuff like this. I wanted more audio real estate. I wanted to have it better for when I want to podcast and stuff. And overall, I wanted to do more stuff with it, like for applications, buttons and applications and stuff like that, controls. And with the 15 one, it just was so limited that everything was just bunched together. A lot of stuff wasn't even on my main menu. I had to go tabbed over to get to other audio things, to the audio board and stuff, which I still do have a key here that says audio board, which goes into the expanded audio board. But sometimes I just want a whole bunch of audio gimmicks on the main board. So with this 32 hotkey version of the Stream Deck, it allows me to have that extra real estate with the 32 keys and not have to worry about, I gotta go find the correct audio. I can just put them all on the main board with all my controls and stuff, and it looks really nice. I even still got some extra real estate here. I have a few extra blank real estate options here, but I have it laid out really nicely. It looks beautiful. It works really nice and stuff, and I got all my controls in one place now, and I don't have to go thumbing through the little one to go to menu, page to page, because that just gets annoying, and it gets it's not very good when you're trying to do a video or a podcast or something. You got to go, oh, let me see here. I got to go find this or this, and I can't do that. So it's a really nice, and it's really still compact. I was very happy when I got it, and I got it. I just got it on Friday, and I took it out of the box, but I didn't set it up until yesterday before I went and had to do a whole bunch of stuff on Saturday. I set it up. It's really nice. It's on a better angle than the original Stream Deck. This 32 gig one, this 32 button one is on a better upper angle, so you can see the keys actually and stuff. It's even got a nice magnetic base to it, so it connects to this magnetic base, and then the USB cable goes from the back of it out to my computer, which is really nice. And the only problem I have with the Stream Deck, which I think I had with the original one, but this one surprisingly a bit more, which I solved it temporarily until I get another mouse pad. But the Stream Deck, the 32 key Stream Deck, and I think it was like that with the other Stream Deck. I just never noticed it too much because it was more flat down, so you're actually pushing down on the buttons. This, you're actually pushing forward on the button layout. So if I want to hit a hotkey or something, I have to push forward like a normal control panel. It slides. Now I got my desk. It can be a slippery desk, and this thing slides. You would think they would have better rubber soles on the Stream Deck, so the Stream Deck wouldn't slide if it's on a desk or table or something, and you're using this as a control panel and stuff. I don't get why they didn't put enough of that rubber, sticky-ish rubber on the bottom of the Stream Deck to mitigate the sliding of this thing. And now I'll look on the bottom. And I don't think I did. Oh, wait. I think I did. Oh. If you're watching the video, I have a nice little epic fail here. I just noticed this. Let's see if this fixes it. Oh, no shit. Another Mr. Mike epic failure moment. Wait, hold on. I do not have this out here. Wait, I don't have it.
Now I'm really pissed off. I'm an equal opportunity ass. Looks like you're fucked.
Whatever. I don't have the sad trombone, do I? I could do, oh wait, ready. Yeah, sad trombone, folks. And for you audio listeners, the sad trombone means there was a piece of plastic that they put on the Stream Deck underneath for the sticky rubber version of the Stream Deck. So now it's actually properly sticking to my desk. So I gotta retract my statement there. Retract. Sorry, Elgato Stream Deck, which is what Lenovo owns it now. I'm sorry, and I apologize. Your Stream Deck is now perfect again. I wonder if that's what happened to the first Stream Deck. I wonder if there's a piece of silicone plastic protecting the bottom of that one too. Not that I have to look at it anymore, but yeah. Wow, do I got the egg on my face for today? Yeah.
Knock, knock, open up the door.
Oh yeah, now I can do all the gimmick sounds again. But okay, never mind about that, folks. It's a perfect thing. Now it's really an amazing device, and not everybody likes the Stream Deck. A lot of people, like a Jeff Gersman guy, he likes to talk about using another gimmick device because he likes to use the audio turning controls scheme gimmicks where, he likes to, if he wants to get the sound up, he likes to turn the knobs. Okay, I understand that, but why can't you just hit up? He says there's lag to this thing. I don't ever notice much lag to this thing. See, I can hit this right now.
Knock, knock, open up
and
the door.
it goes like right away. I don't know where he gets.
What's up?
Dude,
go fuck yourself.
Like I can quickly tap this and tap it again, and it starts and stops instantly. So I don't know what Mr. Gersman's talking about on the latency. Plus, if I want my volume up and down, which I have those controls on here, which is really beautiful because then I don't have to use my mouse for anything. I don't have to mouse over to this or that. And that's going to be very good for my streaming when I do my game streaming and stuff going forward. I'll have all the controls on the Stream Deck, so I don't have to go back to the OBS control panel over here, especially if you're playing a game. Because a lot of PC games in general, I can't get out of them. I can't mouse over to the OBS system because, then that means it takes it out of the game, and then there's weird things that happen because sometimes I'll have to hit the Windows key and move out of the game window into that, and it changes all the resolutions, it changes everything, and the computer goes all wonky, and then there's chaos ensues and all that. And then I got these Command and Conquer games that are all effed up in the resolution space, and I just don't really want to fuck with moving my mouse out of the game into OBS to fix something like raise audio, lower audio. That's the main stuff. I want to be able to raise the audio of something, lower the audio of something, and not have to go over here and do it with my mouse and find it and click it over here on my computer. I can just do it all on the control panel where I got the volume up, the volume down button, the mute, all that great stuff. And I think the Stream Deck works quite well with all this stuff. Hit the record to record, hit pause to pause, hit record to stop the production, go to scene transitions, stuff like that.
That's a good game.
Enjoy your gaming.
Click on my my gimmick buttons here for all my audio cues and such. I think the Stream Deck does quite well with that. And I don't want to be messing with little knobs and stuff like that. I looked at those. I was actually before I bought this new Stream Deck, this 32 key Stream Deck XL, or the Stream Deck XL. That's what they call it, the Stream Deck XL. I was looking at those other gimmicks and looking at, okay, this has got all these little knobs and stuff. And I'm like, I really don't want to use knobs. Now, I don't even hear myself played back on the device until after the podcast and videos are done. So why do I care about little knobs and stuff? I'm still looking at the same stuff on the screen, especially with my audio mixer and stuff. And it's not like I'm getting feedback from that stuff. The only feedback I get from is probably the gimmick buttons here where I hit them and you hear
enjoy your gaming.
Enjoy your gaming or something. You know, that's the only thing I hear out of these speakers is that kind of stuff. Or if there's any audio or something from something on the screen here, like if I'm playing a game or I'm on a web page where they got an annoying ad where it just pops up and it starts playing loud music and videos and stuff, you know. But otherwise, I don't need knobs. And some people get a little of that because they're of the old school. You know, Jeff Gerstmann, he is of the old school of production. And he thinks, you know, he likes that old school turning the knobs and pushing the levers and stuff because they got the audio push up and down levers and stuff. And me, I like it more digital. I'm an all digital kind of guy. It's like filmmaking. A lot of older filmmakers love analog film. The newer guys like the all digital film. I'm all digital. I was born in 86, but shit, I was born at a time when digital is coming out and it's getting better, bigger and better all the time. And then, you know what? I focused on doing everything digital, you know, anything video production. And all in all, just getting back to it, the Stream Deck XL, it's an amazing 32 key layout. And if you're going to buy one today, sure, it's a little bit more expensive. It's like, what, $250 or something. But it's very well made. It's very well made, and it's very simple to program the keys. It's like drag and drop. You can do some things. You can do a lot of things. You can change the pictures on there, the keys, whatnot. You could do so many things with the Stream Deck XL, or even if you wanted to get with the original Stream Deck, you can do so much with these devices, and I think it's worth it. You know, $250. I'm like, shit. I wanted to get it, and this was just the right time for me to get it. As right now, when stuff like this is going really, really hot. Really hot with this stuff. So I've got a new Stream Deck. I love it. It's coming together very nicely. I'm still going to do more stuff. I still have to do more programming. I still got to make more key icons because I want to make some key icons so it makes it easier for me to see what I'm pushing and stuff so I don't have to read the little text that's on some of these. I can understand some of the text when I look at it, when I'm looking down on it, but my eyes are so shitty and whatnot, even close up, and it's kind of blurrier here. It's hard to tell. My eyes are weird. My gimmick eyes are weird. But yeah, the Stream Deck 30 XL, I highly recommend it. I think, like I said, Lenovo now owns Elgato and stuff, or they've been owning them for a while. I think these devices are quite solidly made. You know, my original Stream Deck, I never had anything with it, and they do a lot of updates with the software. They've been updating that software a lot. Any new applications or uses or whatnot, they're very on top of updating the Stream Decks of theirs. Plus, I have the Elgato Game Capture HD, the 4K 60 frames per second game capture card in my computer from them. And that's been pretty damn good. I know also a certain Jeff Gerstmann does not like their capture cards either. But I'm like, I never have any of those problems like he does. I don't know what he's smoking or talking about with the things. He must have, like I said, everybody's setup is different. And I can understand this too. Every podcaster, video producer, everybody that does this stuff for fun or professionally has their own special, different way of setting stuff up. And if you're a novice or a pro, you got a special way to do your own stuff here. And I am one of those people that has my setup in a certain way here where it works for me. You know, everything's laid out just how I want it. Got a nice small little thin keyboard here. I got a nice little mouse to play gaming on. I got my gaming controller, one hooked up to the computer. I got my wireless one here hooked up that is for my Xbox. I got my dual monitors set up here. I can do capturing, recording here, play console games on this monitor if I don't need it for anything because it's big. It's a big monitor. I got headset. I got it. This monitor comes with a headphone jack out, so I can listen to the audio from the game and that. When I'm gaming with that, I can play PC games here, capture there, watch movies there. I have a setup that's unique to my space, unique to me, and it works. And like I said, everybody's space is different. Everybody has different things. I don't have a giant monitor that goes up and down like some people to see chat rooms and stuff. You know, I just like to be on the low. I'm the old school. I'm the solo guy. I'm the rogue. I'm the rogue of this stuff. But anywho, enough said on that. I think this is amazing. Now my Stream Deck, I have it on this. I might up the time on when this the screensaver is, but the Stream Deck I found out has a screensaver mode. And I put in my OldFreakyGamer logo on this for the screensaver logo for the Stream Deck. And after 5 minutes, it just goes to my logo, my OldFreakyGamer logo. You know, the Mr. Angry Mike Gamer. Wait, right there. Mr. Mike Gamer up in the corner there. That's me up in that corner playing a game going, that's my logo. I have it down on here, and it looks pretty badass. It looks pretty cool. And it's a screen. I don't know why you need a screensaver, but it's pretty cool that it's on there. Maybe just because it helps not have all the other keys on there. If you don't want to see all the stupid keys and you just want to see your logo, I think that's pretty cool. I'm glad that they allow you to do that. Hey, and I'm utilizing it now. I'm like, ooh, look at that. I got my Mr. Mike gamer thing on my Stream Deck now, and it's pretty badass. And I can just go back into here, and all good. It went back to the podcast profile that I wanted to, because sometimes it goes to the OBS profile because I am in OBS, but I have a podcast profile just for this, as it's called, a scene in OBS, where this is just this section here that I have that you see now on the video part of this podcast. This is my podcast, what should I say, studio capture scene. So it's only for podcasting, this part, and then the rest of it's for gaming and studio stuff. I got a test section as well, so I could test out stuff in OBS, but this is just for podcasting. So I got, like I said, I got my stuff set up in a unique way that's just right for me, that I use and utilize on my daily gaming and gaming streaming and capturing and podcasting and so much more. So let's just say that's my little crash course on how I do my podcasting and video production and stuff for gaming, and on top of owning this very sweet 32-key Stream Deck XL, which I highly recommend. Like I said, I had no problems with it going forward. You know, it's just like my little one. I knew it was, and then when I plugged in the new one, it recognized it right away. It says, do you want to have all this stuff on the new Stream Deck? And I'm like, yeah, it'll be, yes, Stream Deck software. I do want all these profiles on my new Stream Deck that I had from my old Stream Deck, and it panned it all over to the new one. And it was like, okay, I just got to move these icons around, which is very easy. Put them in the spots I want to do. I have more real estate utilizing, and a little bit of copy and pasting, and oh, so sweet. What a sweet setup. So we're here to talk about video games, folks. Yes, video games in the video game industry. So why don't we get into starting off with talking about games that I have played in the past weeks. It hasn't been much, but I've been really focused on a certain slew or select amount of games that I like to play here. And there we go.
The games
that have been played in the past week.
That's a good game.
Enjoy your gaming.
I gotta definitely do something about that audio. I gotta really get on the ball and fix and change that games played thing. Because like I said, I want it for games played in the past weeks. Because I do this every 2 weeks. This podcast, you never know. I might go to a single week podcast eventually. So I should make like 2 audio versions of it, or I have the games played in the past week. Games played in the past weeks. I should do that. I might even have one of the gimmick AI characters say it as well. But that's something I got to work on later. There's a lot of things that I got to work on later. There's stuff for the upcoming June anniversary of this being almost a year in doing this new GamezAttack OldFreakyGamer site, and there's stuff I gotta just get into creating and doing, and I gotta just get stuff ready for that for June. I know June's coming up soon. We're already almost in April. You know, January, February, March, April. Yeah, March, April. We're the 31st, so January, February, yeah, March, or March 31st. I forgot even what day it is anymore. But we're almost in April. Then it's May, and then it's June already, and then shit. And I got a whole bunch of stuff I want to do for my 1 year anniversary of this whole Old Freaky Gamer thing that I'm doing for videos and stuff. And I got a lot of stuff planned, a lot of stuff that haven't been talked about yet, that I gotta still, you know, when it comes that time, and when I sunset that Juju 2 cast stuff, and that goes into the dark abyss, and all the Juju2cast.com stuff goes bye-bye, which I used to do, and it's just going to be all Old Freaky Gamer going forward. Yeah, a lot of stuff, and all that stuff you'll know over time. I just haven't had time to do it, and the weather's getting nicer out. Well, eventually, fingers crossed, and there's going to be a time that comes where I have less time to do gaming, and there's going to be more of me doing house stuff again and outside stuff again. So yeah, it's always hard. But like I said, this is just my hobby thing. You know, it's not like I am under constraints to make as much content as fast as I can like other people out there, because they have to. They have to hurry up and make all that podcast and video content and stuff, because that their livelihoods are on that stuff. They have to produce stuff to get watched and viewed and listened to, because that's where they make their money. Me, I don't make my money from this stuff. I do it for fun. So, talking about fun, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, that I've been playing on and off again on the ROG Ally, on the PC, and the streams. I finally finished it on Friday. If you haven't watched that last Friday's stream, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, or should I say Yakuza Like Me, as I played Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, I completed it. It's finished. The story is done. It is game over, folks. It is game over, and I should have this readied.
Game over.
It is game over, folks, and yeah, it was a very good game. Now, note, I'm not completely 100% done with it. I still want to do a lot more of the Dundoku Island stuff, which I do have separate saves for that. I still want to do some cleanup on some certain areas, and I think I'm going to be doing a video. I'm having one more video. I'm not thinking. I'm doing. I'm going to do one more, and I'm hopefully going to do it today. We'll see on my time today, but I want to do one more video of Yakuza Like Me, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, a bonus episode where I, Mr. Mike, go do some as much, the side stuff as I can, get done with a whole bunch of that stuff, do a lot of Dundoko Island. I always say I'll do some Sujimon stuff, and then I just shy away from it because I just really don't care about it, and I shouldn't force myself into doing the Sujimon stuff, but I really am interested in what and where that Sujimon stuff is going, but I really don't want to do it. The only thing I care about the Sujimon and what the Sujimon actually does for me is when I go back to Dundoku Island and I use the Sujimon as my Sujimon slaves to do work for me on the island now. So that's the only thing I care about the Sujimon and leveling them up and doing stuff. So that's kind of a dark thing for me, but otherwise the game amazing. I don't need to tell you what happens in the game too much, but you're going to find out anyways, and I might actually say it anyways, but let's just say it abruptly just ends. This is the questionable thing. Even though I like the game very much, it just abruptly ends, and it leaves a lot of people just hanging. Now, they do close it off with saying, well, the girl is now in charge of the Polycana, the Lonnie girl, she gets in charge of the Polycana now, she's in charge of that. Various other people in the team and whatnot are gone back to do their own things, and then you got your main team or group of friends and stuff, and then you got Chitose, the girl we meet up in Hawaii. She's off doing her family business stuff now, I guess. I don't know if that means she's gonna stick with that or she's gonna come back in the next game, whenever the next game comes out, probably in 2 years, I'm thinking. And you're probably like, Mr. Mike, it's only gonna take him 2 years to make the new Like a Dragon? Well, yeah, actually, I do think it's only going to take them like 2 years the way that they're going, unless if they're focusing on doing something like, I don't know, a new Judgment game. If they're focused on that, then I can see that the next Infinite or next Like a Dragon game will take a little bit longer, but pretty much they can crank these out pretty fast. And they even said, and I think I have a story on here. Do I have a story on here? Yes, I do have a story upcoming in the story section. I could bring it up now. I'll bring it up now. Why don't I talk about it now? Talking about various things, and then they talked about some other stuff. This is about their engine now. Dev states that Like a Dragon series must keep using its own engine. The series technical director explains why trilingular education is important to make Like a Dragon engine better. Basically, what they mean by the triangular education is that they have their own Like a Dragon engine, or the Dragon engine. Okay, it's called the Dragon engine. But they let their game people, their game making people, production people, learn and work in stuff like Unreal. They have their teams work in Unreal and Unity engine and in various other game engines, so they can take that information that they know and that they learn from those other game engines, and then they take it back. They take that knowledge and they put it back into their Dragon engine to make their Dragon engine better for lighting and effects and stuff like that. So they're actually just improving their game engine, their Dragon engine, which is, I think, a very good engine for the looks and feel of the games that they make with the Like a Dragon games. And they're talking about how they're just evolving their own game engine, but they're taking knowledge of what they know, and they want their team to know these various other engines, just in case if they decide that they want to like redo the whole Dragon engine again, or if they want to go off kilter and do a game in another game engine like they did with Like a Dragon Ishin. That was redone, remade, remastered, whatever you want to say, from the ground up in Unreal. And they have their teams that know Unreal there over at the Ryogoku Studios. Oh boy, I can never say their name correctly. And they got people that know the Unity engine quite well. They know people that use other game engines quite well, probably Frostbite or something like that if they can get their hands on it. Or maybe that Lumberjack engine, is that still even a decent engine, and that's something that Amazon has or something? But they got their hands in the multiple cookie jars of engine making, so they can bring, like I said, that knowledge back to the home base to say, hey, we can work on this, making this stuff better in our game engine, or this technique better in our game engine. And that's really good. That's a really good sign for that company, for that part of the business, that studio, where Goku Studios is more open to more various engine stuff. They're not just saying, well, we're going to just work on our engine, because maybe someday their engine will be so out of date that they got to work on a new one. And in the meantime, they want to make more games, so they're going to make them in those other various engines. And they got teams of people there that understand, that learn and understand those game engines and know how to make games in them, so they don't have to worry about, oh, we got to teach all our people how to use this one or this one. No, they got various techniques and knowledge in all those game engines. And I'm like, that's a very, very open thing that more studios should do. I know a lot of these studios are chalked up in their own game engines. You got your Grand Theft Auto engine. You got, like I said, your Unreal engine. For most people use the Unreal engine, but then you got people that use like the Frostbite engine, which EA uses, and various other companies like the Cry engine, and which I think, who owns that Cry engine? Is that Ubisoft, or is that EA too? I think that's Ubisoft. And then you got, what other various engines out there? There is the, I was thinking about it. But you know what I'm talking about. There's various engines, and a lot of these companies just want these people to use their own engines, like the Red engine from Cyberpunk, which now, going forward, the people over at CD Projekt Red are going to be using the Unreal engine for their next games and stuff like that. So they jumped off their own CD Projekt Red engine and stuff. So they're going to Unreal. So that's what they're doing. But anyways, learning keeps the games going forward better, and it makes them look better, feel better, play better. And where I was going with this is that they're constantly evolving, and they're constantly really good at knowing their own engine, because they are developed it in a way that they know their own engine, and they keep a lot of those assets. As you can tell, a lot of these assets in this game from the other two, like Injincho Japan and Komorocho, that's from the last games. Those are the same, game art and production from those other games that they just reused for this game, because they made them such high quality, and they can just change little bits and pieces of them if they need to make them unique. But that's all that's the game art and tech from the previous stuff. And then they just created the Hawaii area, which they added on to make it even bigger. And that's why it takes them less time to make these games, because basically the series is, and the Judgment series, the Like a Dragon and the Judgment series, are all in the same Yakuza universe, and they're all in the same areas. So basically, they don't really have to spend extra time and money and effort to create new stuff. They can create more stuff in the areas that they have. They can make them a little bit unique and change them up a bit, and do some things. But technically, their sandbox is the sandbox that they're going to keep using going forward over and over again, which makes it easier for them to make the games. Now, adding Hawaii, maybe that took a little bit of extra time, but still, they got this game out pretty soon, fast. Just like they got Like a Dragon, The Man Who Erased His Name, before this out, because I think that was made in Unreal as well, if I'm not mistaken, folks. And that came out quick because they know their engine, and they already made games in that Unreal Engine from the past. So I just hope going forward, and I'm, like I said, and I bet you not even 2 years, or maybe just 2 years in time from now, I bet you we'll hear about either a new Like a Dragon game, or we'll hear about another Judgment game, hopefully, with our friends at the Yagami Detective Agency and stuff. I would like to see that. I hope that would be the case going forward, but who knows? And but who knows? I don't know. But this was fun. I was very happy with it. It's the second JRPG, turn-based JRPG that they did over there at Ryogoku Studios. It's not just the fighting, and they do an amazing job with it. And this is like my child's Final Fantasy for me, and I just loved how they did it. I took it like a fish in water. You know, it's just like, oh, this is my element. I was so scared of playing the first Like a Dragon game when they came out, when they changed it from just Yakuza and Yakuza Like a Dragon, where they just changed everything from the fighting style type of games to going full JRPG, turn-based JRPG. And I'm like, oh, what? Am I going to like this? You can hear me on older podcasts and videos going, I hope I like this, folks. I'm very scared because I never was good at playing these games. And they made it in a way to get even the most skeptic kind of person like me that loves the series so much that he's willing to kick his own ass to try it. But they made it so easy for people even like me to learn it, to learn how to play these types of games better, and to also make it so that the game is fun and easy to play, that I was just like, oh, okay, this is amazing. It's amazing. It's fun. It's easy. I'm getting these elements and these controls right away, and they took all my fears away. They took all my fears away. So when I came to this game, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, I was like, oh, I'm all fucking ready. This is good. All I have to figure out is what's going to be my money source. In the first game, you could get money from the dungeon, but mostly it was that Ichiban Confections side questing and gameplay that got you your funding and your money in the game. This time around, you can just grind dungeons and you make mad money. When you get to those dungeon parts, and you can stop selling items altogether. You could just go and grind those dungeons, and not only do you level up yourself and your party, you're making lots of money. They give you so much money in those dungeons. When I ended the game, I'm like, or when I was even getting up to chapter 14, the end of the game, I'm like, boy, I got so much money and I never had to really use anything. I have so many items. I have so much of this and that and points and this and that. And I'm not going to use a damn dime or dollar of any of this stuff. I'm a multi-millionaire in the game, and I just don't need it because I got so much of it. It's like, okay. I'm just spoiled with all the riches in the game. And I was like, okay, the game is super fun and I'm super rich and I don't have to worry about money in this game. Because I was like, what's going to be the best way to make money in this game? Oh, there we go. Because that's what drove me in this game. Where was the best place to make money? And get certain items, which was basically iron ore and stuff, or the weapons upgrades and stuff, which was really cool that on how they did the weapons upgrades again this time around, and having the hero bat and all that again, because that's what I gravitate to. If it's Ichiban, I'm going to use the hero bat. When they make a third Like a Dragon game, or whatever it's going to be called, and it's Ichiban and everybody, I'm going to use the baseball bat. Because if they're going to offer it to me, I'm going to get the hero's bat. Unless if he changes himself from a hero to something else. I don't know. But the game, the scenes, everything, the way it played out, I was like, okay, it's getting dark. It's getting good. It's getting really interesting. I just wish they would have, I know the Lonnie girl and Ichiban's mom were like Sure, they were the main focus in the middle of the game, but then they were after they had them safe and all that. You never seen the characters again. Spoiler alert. You never see. Ichiban doesn't even talk about his mom anymore. They just disappear. They speak a little bit about Lonnie, the girl, as she takes over the Palicana, if I'm saying that correctly. And but Ichiban's mom, it's like, what happened to her? Why isn't she with the group over in Jincho and talking to Ichiban and being more of a mother? It's like he wanted to meet her. He got to meet her. They did their like little offhand bonding thing where they basically apologized to each other. She apologized to him for not being a good mother, not being there, and blah blah blah, and him just being like, oh, okay, it's cool, mom. And then it's basically like, okay, hey mom, I love you, whatever, bye. And it's like nothing else. You don't hear nothing else about the two of them, and it's like they just really dropped that whole story plot line right off a cliff. We know what happened. We know what was going on. And then it's just like, okay, focus on going forward to what's happening in the game and with the bad guys. And then, of course, they split you off in the two groups. It's a shame. I wish they would have allowed me in this game. And this is one of those other little bummer things that I wish they would have did. And I can understand why they didn't. But maybe going forward, allow me to maybe be able to expand on what characters I can use and where. So I know that Ichiban and his team were in Hawaii, and then Kiryu and his team were in Jincho, Japan and stuff like that. But when they got together at that one point, I was kind of hoping that I was able to maybe swap out teammates with other teammates and they would go separate ways. That would probably be very cool going forward. And if anybody over at Ryogotoku Studios is listening or watching this, maybe make it possible that in the future games, or at least in one of the next game or something in the future, like a Dragon series, if you're going to have these two groups of people separately doing missions and stuff, at the one point when they come together or whatever, even if they come together early or try to make them come together early enough, I would like to swap out some of the characters because I wanted the other girls. I wanted Seiko and Sohei to come with Ichiban to Hawaii, and they could have been there with Chitose. I know that would be kind of what people would say weird, almost impossible because of how the game is written. You know, you need the other characters like Tomizawa and stuff to be in Hawaii, you know, and be there with Ichiban and stuff, and you need those other characters like Sonhee and I just said her name too. And Seiko to be in Jincho, Japan. But maybe if they can craft it in a way, I don't know, make it the AI, make the program the next game in a way with the story go in it and stuff. Maybe program it next time in a way where it doesn't matter where your characters are. You can change up the story as you go with different characters. Maybe if you bring in some characters from the other side to this side and this side to that side, that would make it unique because it would be a unique experience every time you play, because it's like, oh, okay, I brought all the guys over here. I brought all the ladies over here. They have different conversations. They have different gameplay methods. That would be pretty unique. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know if there was any games that ever did that. I think I played maybe a game that did that once, where you can swap in and hot swap in and out of the characters that you play. I think what would come close on the top of my mind as I'm thinking about it now, I'm thinking maybe like Grand Theft Auto 5, on how you switch from Michael to Trevor to Franklin, and that pop in, pop out scenario, that was pretty close to something where you can change up how you play the game and the story, even though the game gave each of those characters their own separate set of missions and things to do. You could actually technically get them together, get in the same areas as the other characters of the game, which was pretty unique at the time. But maybe take it one step farther, make it a part of the story. Be like, oh, Ichiban went to Hawaii to meet his mother in the next game, and he's like, okay, I didn't bring Seiko-san and Sonhi with me this time, but, you know, I'm going to bring them later. Oh, I talked to them on the phone. I emailed them or something. I sent them tickets. Come on over. And then they come and join the party. And then you're like, hey, you know, Tomizawa. Yeah, don't you want to go to Injijo, Japan to see your folks or your family or something? Here's a ticket to go there. And you can send a couple of the characters over there. Or Zhang. Because it was like Zhang and what was the other character on the other side? Ah, shoot. What was the other character? Because I had Sohi, I used that. I used Kiryu, Sohi, Seiko. And Namba. And then what was the outside character? It was me. Sohi, Namba, and then it was, what was the other character? I'm trying to think who the other character was. It was, Zhao. Zhao was another character over there. I didn't use Zhao, and I didn't use the other guy, the other Injinko guy on my other team, because they came a little too late in the game series. Now, if you haven't been that far in Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, or you haven't played it yet, this is a little bit of spoilers, but there's characters that come a little bit later in the game, and they're like add-on characters or bonus characters to your gameplay, and it's like, okay, you can make them a part of your party, but they're so lower leveled, and they don't have any weapons and all that. It's not really useful. It wasn't really useful, or didn't make sense for me to add those characters to my main roster for gameplay, because they really weren't as strong. And I can understand on how they programmed the game to think. I bet the game didn't think I was already at level 60 or 50 when the other characters that came into the picture were like level 40. They didn't realize that somebody crazy like me would be dungeon crawling and constantly making my characters more powerful and stronger over time in a short period of time, that I'm way higher level than what the character should normally be in the game. So there's that. But otherwise, the game, it runs beautifully, it plays beautifully, both on the PC, the ROG Ally. Such a big game with so many technical elements. It just runs so well, and everything works and plays so well on every device that I played it on, and machine, I should say, that I played it on, especially the ROG Ally. I love playing that on the ROG Ally. It's perfect for ROG Ally play, and that device is amazing. Every time I play that device, I'm like, wow. I got the power of the PC sort of in my hand. I got a game console where I can play full gaming console like gaming with a controller in my hand. It blows my mind. It blows me away. What other things? There was another thing that was a little bit kind of bothersome of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Oh, my brain. Do I have it written down? Excuse me. I don't think I do. No, I don't. But shoot. What was that other thing? I should have written it down. But I didn't. What was it? There was another thing that was bugging me a bit about Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. So the characters, I know a lot of people were like, there was a few people complaining about not enough sub stories or side quest missions and stuff like that. I can see that. They didn't have as much of the craziness. They had a little bit, but not as much as they usually do. This is mostly a story that's kind of closing the doors on Kiryu in a way, sort of. You know, I'm not going to, like I said, I won't go into full detail, but let's just say maybe the dragon isn't dead yet. The dragon of Dojima isn't dead yet, technically. I don't know. He could come back, maybe. I don't know. But, I know I'm having dead air here because I'm trying to think and my brain isn't working. My brain ain't working. Okay, I couldn't think of what I was about to think about and talk about for it, like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I even paused the podcast for a little bit. You didn't notice that, but I paused for a little bit because I wanted to try to think about what else was I trying to think of on what I felt about Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Like I said, it was an amazing game. I had my fun with it. It gave me a lot of value for the bang for my buck that I barely paid for it because I got it cheaper. I understand also people didn't care for the behind the wall paywall for new Game Plus. I even think that's a kind of bullshit on their part that they did that. Hopefully going forward, they will realize that that's not worth doing. I know they want to try to suck as much money out of the game as possible, but charging for a thing that was in these games forever and ever, and now you want to charge for New Game Plus, that's kind of dirty in a way, where it's like, that was a basic feature of the Yakuza games and stuff. Why would you break that trust? But I don't know. Like I said, I hope they eventually announce a new one sooner than later, but I'm also hoping that they do take their time on the next Like a Dragon game and maybe the Judgment games if they're going to do those going forward, because like I said, they haven't said a peep about any of the Judgment stuff, even though I like the series a lot. I know a lot of people didn't care for Lost Judgment, maybe. I don't know if that's saying anything about it. Maybe they won't do any more Judgment games, but I liked it. I like Yagami and all those people. Maybe they should bring them into the Yakuza verse even more. They've been sprinkling them around in Like a Dragon, but maybe fully bring them in. Maybe bring the two franchises fully together where it's like, ooh, Ichiban meets Yagami and all them. They're working together going forward, and you got Kato's son working with Sonhee and all them, and they're all getting to know each other, and then you got the dragon and Dojima, Kiryu coming back. And then you got this bigger family. Maybe the Yakuza will come back and stuff, which I'm sure they always come back. So in a one way, shape, or form. But yeah. But then they still left a lot of things dragging, like what's going to happen with Ichiban. You know, he's trying to get with Seiko, not Sonhee, but Seiko, and fucks it up again. That's a running gag between them two. But I think they should have added a little bit more closure, a little bit more, story and stuff at the end. And it seems like they just abruptly let them just brick wall, done, all closed. Oh, look at this funny scene. Aha, look at what Ichiban did. Oh, he's stupid. Seiko's running for her life, and then it's just like, oh, fade to black. Oh, here's Kiryu a little bit more. Here's this scene with Kiryu and blah, 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 blah. And, oh, wait, look what happens to him. Okay. And then it just drops. And it's like, okay, is that a teaser for something better, newer, what? I don't know. That's just how they like to do it. It's like a soap opera that is a long time in coming. But like I said, they know, it seems like they've been know how to crank out some games. Going forward, I don't know what their plans are. But I will be ready for them. I will be waiting and raring to go to play the next Yakuza game from them and their teams over there, or Like a Dragon, or should I say Like a Dragon or Judgment games going forward from that team there. Because Ryu Goku and the Yakuza series is just one of those amazing series that I love a lot. I love them a lot. They're my main squeeze. It used to be like Grand Theft Auto. It used to be like Grand Theft Auto and Command and Conquer games were my main squeezes. And then there was a big chunk of my younger life that was Minecraft. It was all Minecraft. And now it's like Yakuza, 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 like a dragon, Yakuza, like a dragon. And it's like, ooh, what could be next? Yeah, but anywho, played a lot of that, beat the story. Gonna go back, do some side stuff, do some more Dandoku Island, probably do a nice bonus game video for you guys, and maybe post it out around this week. If everything goes good, we'll see. So also I've been playing, I got back into this. Why would I get back in this? Well, of course, mainly more easy achievements, and it's quite an easy game to play, and it's quite, for me, funny. I like it. It's stupid fun, and it's very easy, and it's now on PC and ROG Ally, and it's also on Xbox, of course, I should just say, because it's PC Game Pass game. No More Heroes 3 came back, and it plays very well also. It's also a very good ROG Ally game. I'm a ROG Ally, and I play that, and it plays splendidly well on my ROG Ally, and it plays very well on my PC, even though if I want to get out to do something on my OBS, I can't do that, because if I hit like the Windows button or something on my on my key here, then the game goes, ah, and it freaks out, and then I have to go like click back into it and get it to work, and I don't know. It's just one of those little gimmicks on video games and how... And plus I'm running Windows 10, so, dual monitors and multiple monitors isn't the best thing compared to... compared to what? I don't know. I don't even know what to compare it to, but... Yeah, No More Heroes 3, back at it. Travis touchdown, fighting alien scum, blah, 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 blah. A shitty hero as he is. I guess his wife Sylvia. I didn't know that was his wife. I never played, mind you, folks. I never played the first two No More Hero games. I have them. I own them. I just never played them. I think I have No More Heroes 2 on Switch. I have to check that out. I think I have the physical copy of that. The first one. Oh, wait, no, I probably have both of them because they came out with that remastered dual pack of No More Heroes and No More Heroes 2. I think I have them both on the Switch. But originally, I never played No More Heroes. That was originally, a Wii game because of the whole bean katana where you're doing your jack off motion with that thing. That was the original thing for that, and that was the original gimmick, I should say, for that game. And then... I never played the first two, so I don't know how those two stories connect to the third one. I should maybe watch some old, game videos of the other ones. I don't know, maybe. And then we don't know if there'll ever be a fourth one. The game director says, well, maybe in 10 years or so, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay. So I'm not seeing any new what should I say, new enthusiasm for No More Heroes 4, but I don't know. I'm playing it again. I'm having my dumbass fun with it, and maybe Game Pass will make No More Heroes 4 a reality when people play this on Game Pass or something. I don't know. I know what I also definitely going to start playing, but I'm also bummed out about a bit, and that's the Diablo 4 has launched on Game Pass, folks. Yeah, Diablo 4 on Game Pass, and let me do this here.
Knock, knock, open up the door.
But unfortunately, folks, Diablo 4 on Game Pass for PC, I am not playing. I am playing this game or I'm going to be playing this game on Xbox, on my Xbox Series X. Now, that's not a big problem, but you're probably asking yourself, but Mr. Mike, isn't it also on PC Game Pass? And I would have to tell you, yes. Yes, it is, in a certain way. But Microsoft, a.k.a. Xbox over at Microsoft, and Phil Spencer, which I have to call out, even though I'm a big warning, what should I say? Quote, I am a big Microsoft Xbox fanboy here. You know, Phil Spencer, I like that company quite well. I'm a big fanboy of everything, not everything, but most things Microsoft and Xbox and stuff. So the very big fanboy here. But I'm going to call him out. I'm going to call Phil Spencer and the teams and whoever else out on this. I know they just purchased Activision Blizzard King last year and it went through. But they had a lot of time. Now, I don't know if this was their plan altogether to bring out Diablo 4 now and not wait till the summer like they're going to put out when they're going to announce all the other games coming out to Game Pass, because they've got all these people going, why aren't they putting out all these other games to Game Pass yet? Because originally, and I said this originally in my other podcast, I said this is not a fact, but as a prediction, I was predicting that they would wait till the summer showcase for their Xbox summer showcase in June that they're going to have, that they were going to plan on announcing all the games that they're getting from Activision Blizzard King and stuff, that they're going to come to Xbox Game Pass, that they're available now on Xbox Game Pass as they hosted that showcase. I'm thinking that they just did Diablo 4 to appease some bad standing people that were like complaining about recent issues of, is the console market dead for Microsoft and Xbox? Are they doing a different thing? Well, maybe, yes, no, I don't know. I would have to talk to Phil directly. Will I ever talk to Phil Spencer directly? I don't know. If he ever wanted to come onto my show and talk with me, that would be cool. I would love to talk with the guy. I would love to pick his brain, even off record, and talk to him about stuff that nobody should know about. I would love to hear what he has to say. I would love to understand on what their plan is going forward, if any. I would love that kind of stuff, but I don't think I would ever. I don't think I'm popular enough. I don't think a guy like him would ever talk to a guy like me, but I would have a million questions just right on the table, and I'd have a million like ideas and stuff to go through with him and saying, hey, how about this or this or this? How is this going? What's your future? What's this future going to be like? What are you guys planning on doing? Off record, of course, because I wouldn't want to put everything on record, because there's a lot of secrets that they would want to keep secret until the time, and I would respect that. But I don't think he would talk to me. But if I did, I'd ask him, well, why'd you put out Diablo 4 now? Is it because of lack of games again, first-party games, and you wanted something to appease people? But what they did, going back to this point, what they did with Diablo 4, that is what I think is a big letdown for at least me. I'm sure a lot of other achievement whores out there as well. The biggest letdowns is that it doesn't have any achievements for the PC version of Diablo 4. Why? I don't know why. Because it has all the other Xbox stuff on it. It has multiplayer. It has Xbox this, Xbox X, that. But it did not carry over the achievements from the game, which, sure, you got the Xbox version of it. I know originally Diablo 4 didn't come out for Xbox PC, but if you're porting it over, which they're not, because here's the other second no that they're doing, which I understand, but I also don't understand why they are making you download battle.net, to use battle.net to download the Diablo 4 game and not just PC Game Pass. You telling me they couldn't take this one game and move it over from the servers to their Azure cloud or something, and then add the achievements onto that game from the Xbox part of the game. I'm sure it would take a little work, but why wouldn't you not do that? Why would you want to separate and split off that player base on that stuff? And it's like, as an Xbox gamer, an achievement whore, I'm like, oh, no achievements. Now, I would put up with downloading or having to download the game from Battle.net, at least for now, because I know server things to move games and stuff over the servers takes a little bit, but they had months. So they should have been starting with this stuff day one, and they should have made these games more available on the Xbox PC side of things as well, but they didn't. And what was I saying? And they didn't do it. And I found out at the semi last minute when I saw the stories go up in the news saying, hey, if you want to download the new Diablo 4 on PC Game Pass, you're going to have to go through the Battle.net store to do it. You go to the Game Pass, PC Game Pass part, but then it takes it to the Battle.net part to download and to, play your game, activate the game or something. And it's like, you guys just fucked up again. And then not including the achievements into this game, even though they have achievements for this game on the Xbox version. What are you doing, Microsoft? Come on, Microsoft. Phil Spencer. What? Phil Spencer, out of everybody there that loves his gaming and achievements and stuff like that as well, why did he drop the ball on it? Why did he let them drop the ball? It seems like, and I hate to say this, that he seems like he's too much of a nice guy to his own people over there, over at Xbox Land. He's too nice to the people at the studios and working behind the scenes for this stuff, because it seems like things are not coming together just right, that they need a little bit more of a whipping over there, and things come out broken, things come out a little less than they should be, things don't come out the way they should be at all, like Diablo 4 not coming out, just on Game Pass, PC Game Pass proper and stuff, with achievements and stuff. And why do you want to keep Battle.net working anyways? You should be phasing that out. I think they finally phased out Minecraft already. It took them a while for Minecraft, but, Minecraft has a great number of backers and supporters on that. But eventually they transformed it pretty well to the Xbox side. I don't know why they're not doing it with the Activision Blizzard part. Why you don't want to confuse your customers and people when you got the Activision Blizzard part, you got this part, you got the Epic Game Store part. It's just crazy. And excuse me, I'm just rubbing my neck. I got tight neck issues going on now. It's too much sitting in a weird chair here. Anywho, I was disappointed when I found that out, that I couldn't get my achievements in Diablo 4 for PC. Like I said, if I would have still got achievements, but yet I had to use the game store, the Battle.net store, I would be okay with that. Sure, it'd be a little bit of an extra hoop to jump through, but not giving the achievements is just it's a bad move. It's a bad move, and I'm sure a lot of people are probably saying the same thing besides me, going, where the fuck are the achievements, Phil? This is a Game Pass game. There should be achievements, right? Right? The Xbox version has achievements, so why does this not have achievements, right? Little stuff like that. I know it's a petty thing to think and say, but hey, as a gamer, an Xbox gamer that wants his achievements, that is why I downloaded the Diablo 4 for Xbox Game Pass, because it has achievements. So I don't have to worry now. And I don't mind if I play it, because I played on my Xbox before for Diablo 3. But I really wanted to play Diablo 4 on my PC, and I really wanted to try it out and, upgrade everything. But I can't. I have to go with my Series X. My Series X is going to get a little bit more of a workout because I got more games for my Series X console, and I got to give it some more loving. It needs more loving. But damn, if Diablo 4 was able to be working with achievements on PC, I would have downloaded to my ROG Ally and played it on my ROG Ally. Oh, my PC ROG Ally, it would be so much better. I'd be doing some streaming with you guys with the game. So much missed opportunity. Kind of makes me, gets to my craw a little bit there on how that happened. But otherwise, started playing it where I left off. Luckily, my game saved because I did play the beta a couple times, and I played the recent beta for Diablo 4 and created my character and all that. And it kept my game saved, which is awesome. And I'm like, good, I don't have to start again for the 5th time watching the whole beginning, even though watching Lilith come from the bloody heavens. I don't know why she's coming up from above. She should be coming from below, but hey, heaven, hell. Maybe hell is up top and heaven's down below. Maybe we got it all wrong. But watching her come down for her sexy foot coming down and standing on the thing, for all the video game character feet people there, they do the Lilith foot coming down and stuff, and it's got a big bosoms and stuff. And yeah, I'd tap that. I'd tap Lilith. I'll say it right here and now, folks. I am man enough to say I'd tap Lilith. I would tap her good. She would know who the real Diablo was. Anyway, yes, I'm continuing on. I played a little bit the other day. It is still fun. It's still Diablo. We all know that. I know a lot of people also said they fell off of Diablo 4 after the story because all that other stuff is kind of eh. And you know what? That's probably where I'm going to end anyways. That's where I ended in Diablo 3. I think I played a little bit of the season storyline stuff, but I'm like, nah, I just want to play the main campaign in Diablo 4, and then I'm done. I'm good. I'll get my fill out of it. I'll do whatever I can, and then I'll be done. Same with this. I'll be done. And you know what? If that's how I want to play the game, that's all good with me. You don't have to keep coming back to play more Diablo like that, unless if you got more story DLC or something you want to bring down the road. But I'm happy with that. And like I said, I was playing a little bit of it, and I felt very powerful. I think I got the Necromancer character chick. I got a female Necromancer, and don't quote me on this, but she has the power where I can summon extra beings around me, and they could go fight with me and fight for me, and it's pretty badass. And I got the big scythe thing going on, and I'm like, yeah. And I'm just chopping and blocking everything, getting all this gold where I don't know what I'm going to do with all this gold. I'm so rich in gold and stuff and items. I'm just like, oh, I got to get myself to a town and try to level my character up. I got to remember how to do all this stuff. But quite fun still. Quite a good looking game. It's a shame I can't play it on the ROG Ally and just lay on the couch or something else and play that game on my hands. But, I'm not going to just download the Battle.net store and play this game and know that I can't get any achievements for that. I was also wondering, and I would have to look this up later, unless if you guys will comment for me, but I'll probably look it up later myself. Actually, I can look it up now. No, I won't look it up now because I have to click a bunch of stuff. But I was wondering even if I did download and play the PC version of Diablo 4, because I didn't see anywhere where game saves transferred between the PC version and the Xbox version. But I wonder if the game saves transfer from version to version. I might, like I said, if I don't get any answer for it and I have to download and try it, I will. But if that's something that's possible, I wonder if I had a game save for the PC version and then I transferred it to the Xbox, would all those achievements just unlock after? I think there was a game like that once on PC Game Pass or something where it didn't have achievements once, but the Xbox version had achievements, and I wasn't getting any achievements playing the one on the PC or something, and then I went and I loaded it up on my Xbox, and then all these achievements started popping up all crazy like, and it was just like boom, 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 and I'm like, whoa, all these achievements are popping up. It was like 30 achievements, 35 achievements oncoming, and you just see the thing going boom, 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 with the achievement thing, achievement unlock thing going on, and I'm like, huh. So this is interesting. Must have been because I couldn't get any of these achievements in the other game, part of the game on PC. Huh. Anywho, I would like to know if I did do the dirty and I downloaded it for PC and stuff like that, if I played it, would I be able to transfer my game character save back and forth easily, like nothing, back before that in my Xbox? Because if that's possible, if that's something that's possible, and it does unlock achievements in the base game when transferring back to Xbox, that would be something I would consider. I would consider doing that, because then I'd be like, well, I'm playing on PC. I'm not getting any of the achievements now, but when down the road I transferred over my Series X for a bit, it will all unlock there. That would be interesting. Now, like I said, I'll look this up later. Not going to look it up now. Another game I've been playing on and off because it's a fun little game, and it's on Xbox Series X, so I've been playing it only on the Series X because they don't have it on Game Pass. They don't have it for Xbox for PC. It's basically like Vampire Survivors, but in its own unique realm and way, and I like this because it gives me some more variety. And, you know, I've been a little burned out of Vampire Survivors. I've been playing Vampire Survivors so much before. I'm like, and the same with Brotato. Brotato I like, but it seemed like it came up quick that I was getting a little tired of that as well. And I just feel like, oh, someday I will pick this back up and play Brotato and more Vampire Survivors. But Army of Ruin has that Vampire Survivors Brotato feel to it. And it's on Xbox Series X. Army of Ruin is pretty good. It's got its own textures and stuff. It can get a little janky at times with the music and the volume, voices, blah, 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 or the system itself can be too, what am I thinking here? I don't even know what I was thinking. I ran off the cuff again, folks. I'm sorry. But anywho, yes, Army of Ruin, playing it. It's janky a little bit. Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying. It was janky to the point where it's just not just the audio sometimes gets crackly or something. You got to reset it, but sometimes it doesn't feel like it's running smoothly. It'll chug a little bit and stuff. Maybe they'll have some updates on that to fix it, but I own it, and it's been fun. And I've been going around doing the killing with the one stick and stuff, leveling up and all that, and finally starting to unlock some new characters in Army of Ruin. It's got a unique look and feel. You might want to check it out. It's a Vampire Survivors-like game, and totally worth playing. I don't got much more on Army of Ruin. That I don't have much more to speak about that. But Evil West. Let's get into Evil West. The final game that I have been playing in the past weeks. Been playing that both on my PC and ROG Ally. This is a game that I've been wanting to play for a while now. And originally I was going to try to buy it for my Series X as a game disc. And I was like, oh, I want to support these guys. I want to buy it on a game disc. And, well, that did not happen because, first off, it's hard to find this game on an Xbox as a game disc. You can still find it, but it's very, very expensive. And I think it's because the company is under, the people that made it is under the Umbrella Group, the Embracer Group. So I'm guessing that's probably one of those things on why the game is still expensive and all that. But it has dropped dramatically in price on Game Pass because now that Evil West went over to Game Pass, and not only because I'm playing it for free right now, but if you want to buy it, I think it's like $29.99 or something now. They got it on sale for. It used to be like on sale for $49.99, but I heard they dropped it to $29.99. Don't quote me on that yet. I should look. I should definitely look here instead of just speaking about it here. I can go open up the Xbox store on my PC here, which I'm going to do now. So forgive me, folks, as I am doing something. Can I just open it up here because I'm in the game here? Let's see here. View details. Yeah, maybe view details. Would that show me up in Evil West? Evil West for Windows. Okay, there we go. Okay, they're saying it's $39.99. So where am I seeing $29.99? It was saying that, I think it was saying it on my phone that it was $29.99. But it's saying it's $39.99 here on Evil West for Windows. So I do not know. I really do not know what they were talking about. Let's see here. Evil West $29.99. I don't know. It's not coming up. But I did get something on there. I think it's on my phone. Oh, God. Oh, God. What am I doing here? I hate looking up information while I'm doing a podcast because it's such a bad etiquette. bad pod, bad etiquette. Let's see here. I saw something on it. That's Alone in the Dark. That's CD Projekt. Is this it? Okay, Evil West. Yeah. Oh, through April 4th, 2024. Okay, so it says it right here for you video podcast players. What does that say? If you can see it quite well or see it well enough. It says $29.99, right? Yeah, so it says game on your wish list. Evil West is $29.99. Offer ends on sale for 50% off. Offer ends April 4th, 2024. So why is it saying it's $39.99 on my on my Xbox Game Pass thing? I got to go to the Xbox site. I got to see if this is correct or not. Maybe they fucked up in the email. So I'll go to xbox.com. I'll type in Evil West because I got to get to the bottom of this. We got to get to the bottom of this, people. We got to find out. Yes, I know Diablo's available on Game Pass. Thank you. Yes, thank you. I'm looking for Evil West. Thank you. Evil West. Yeah, $29.99 for Game Pass. Oh, okay. Okay, this is what they're doing. Okay, folks. Okay, here's the problem. So yes, it is $29.99 for the console version. I'm guessing. Yes, the Series X version is $29.99. But the PC version of Evil West is $39.99. So they're charging $10 more for the PC Windows version of Evil West compared to the Xbox version. Does that make sense to you? That doesn't make sense to me. I wonder what happened there that they just said, oh, we're going to charge more for the PC version than the Xbox version. Because you would think it would be like the other way around, because the PC version is probably the easier of the two versions to get cheaper, because I don't know if they take a less cut or not, but Why is that? Why is there 2 different price points for the sale on Evil West? Huh. It's not going to matter, though, because I'm probably going to beat this game before it gets out of Game Pass anyways, because I'm going to just be playing it normally now, because now that I'm done with Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. But, folks, if you want Evil West, or you want to try it out first on Game Pass if you got Game Pass, try it out if you like it and you want to buy it, it's only $29.99 on Xbox.com, or if you go to your Xbox game store, it's $29.99. But if you're on Windows and you're playing in you want the PC version of it, it's going to cost you another $10 at $39.99. I don't know why. I don't know how that happened. I wonder if that was something they had to do, or it's a tech glitch. I don't know. That's kind of weird. It's weird, and I don't know why they would do that, but that's where we're at, folks. That's kind of stuff what we're at. But if you still want Evil West is on Game Pass and it's free. If you subscribe to Game Pass like me on a monthly basis, I got my every month they take out, what is it, $16-17 out of my account for Game Pass. I don't know. It's cheap. I don't really care. But I got Game Pass Ultimate. I get Game Pass for PC and Windows, and I get to play Evil West for nothing, basically. It's nothing. So, and I will have this game beat before it's off of Game Pass, and I don't have to pay any money for it. So that is weird, though. But it is a fun game. It is a Doom-like game. It can get a little weird and difficult at times because you gotta do certain things, and I fucked up a few times, but otherwise it is fun. The story I'm trying to follow a little bit, but it was a little hard because I also was playing a lot of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth and other games as well, so I kind of fucked myself over a little bit, but I kind of understand what's going on here. There's this virus thing going on, and you got your dad involved, and you don't know what kind of shape he's in right now. He's been kidnapped, and your guys are basically vampire demon hunters, and you got this whole technological Wild West thing going on. It's got your little bit, it looks a little bit like Red Dead Redemption meets, what do you call it? Red Dead Redemption meets, what's his name? Jonah Hex kind of feel to it, with a little bit of Blade feel to it, in the old Wild West in their own way. It is pretty fun. It is a fun game. I like playing it. It doesn't have saves where you would want to go, I want to pause the game now and just do a quick save or something, or save the game. No. It does its own saves, people. This is where it gets interesting. It does its own saves. And you got to watch the bottom of the screen to see when it saves, to go, okay, it's done a game save now. Now I can back out of the game when I'm able to. And it'll tell you how long ago it made its backup save before you quit. Because sometimes I was getting it to 12, 15 plus minutes where it would not save a portion of the game. And I'm like, oh, shit, I want to get out of this game. I got to go to bed, or I got to do something. And it's like, no, you're going to lose this much progress if you don't. It's 12 minutes and stuff of progress. I'm like, that's a lot of minutes of progress being lost. So, yeah, but that's its only quirk for Evil West. Otherwise, it looks and plays amazingly, both on my PC and ROG Ally. Again, I've been playing mostly on the ROG Ally. I've been playing a little bit on the PC, but ROG Ally's been the main go-to for Evil West. And I'm just happy I get to try it out, because it's one of those games that looked really cool when they were showing it in a presentation. And I'm like, you know what? This looks like Doom in the Wild West with a little Red Dead in it and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I can get with that. Because I tried that Weird West. I didn't like Weird West. But Evil West, I'm like, okay, this looks pretty good. It's got a little Gears of War style to it. It's got a little bit of everything that I really like about those games, about Doom and and Red Dead Redemption and stuff, because I do like the cowboy kind of gritty cowboy shit, and I definitely like the Gears of War style, and it's like it's got a little bit of all that stuff and a nice easygoing story that I can get around, and it hasn't disappointed. Like I said, I tried to pay attention as much as I can, and there's a lot of crazy characters and scenarios in this game, but it's one of those pretty much semi-lost games that nobody you ever hear talking about. It's not. I think it just slipped through the cracks on decent games out there, and I think people should give Evil West a try. I think everybody should, and I'm glad this is one of those reasons why I'm very glad that Game Pass is around, and Phil Spencer and Xbox teams. This is why Game Pass should be around. And I know there's people out there, a lot of studios and people that just hate Game Pass or think it's useless or it's a money pit or whatever. I think it's a great necessary evil, because it takes games like Evil West and Army of Ruin and, these little games that they're big games, but they're little games, or they never did well, and they bring them to a place of people where if you're subscribed to the subscription service, you're like, I'll take a look at this. I'll try this out. And it actually gets us into playing the game, and it's like they're getting paid while we're playing the game, even though we're not really paying for it, but they're getting paid because we downloaded the game on Game Pass and we're playing it. So they're getting money one way or another, and I think sometimes if they sell microtransactions or something on the side, they can earn a little extra money. So a game like this, if it wasn't doing well financially, or if they were thinking, well, we want to try to get a bit more money out of this game franchise here, or this future franchise, if they do another Evil West, I don't know how well it's. Like I said, I haven't heard anything more about Evil West. They talked about it for briefly before, and people were playing it and stuff, but then it just dropped off a cliff. I think it was because I forgot what game it was that was taken over, but yeah, it needed that little extra boost. And Game Pass helps games like this earn some more extra money and extra cred, and gets more people to play them, like me. Even though I'm not going to buy the main game, because I'm going to beat the main game here, and I don't try to get every little thing and achievement from it, but I'm going to have my fun. I'm going to play through the story, and it's a decent thing to do. And thanks again to Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate for allowing me to do this, to play this game. Before, in the earlier years, before Game Pass, we would have to either buy it or shut up, or wait for a demo if they even had a demo, because people don't usually do demos in games. So if you didn't get one of those free play to weekends or demos, or you just had to look to see if it was going to go on sale eventually on a storefront or, whatnot, you wouldn't get to know the game as well. And you might pass it by or forget it. Very happy about that. So Evil West is the last game. I am going to definitely be playing more of it and get into more of it. It has its little quirks, but it's a really fun Doomish like, Gears of War like, Red Dead Redemption like type of game. If you like wild, gritty, wild west stuff and vampires and monsters. So we're going to get into the state of what I think the game industry is now, and and stuff like that, and where I feel, because I've been hearing a lot of people talking about, what's going on with the games industry? Is this industry long for this world? And I've been hearing many sides on this, and from many people, many sides. And in my mind, I think the video game industry, as the corporate side, I should say, of the video game industry, your Xboxes, PlayStations, maybe Nintendo's, not so much maybe Nintendo's, because they are the Apple of the video game world, and they're actually doing the best right now because they're mostly doing everything, I don't know, I would have to say the rightish way. You know, they're not the most technical in leaps and bounds in gaming hardware. They make most of their own games, or they put the right third parties, and they oversee those very carefully, those third parties that make games for them to get their main games out and published and stuff for their devices like the Switch. And then they have, you know, they let the third parties eventually publish on their thing, and they let all the little indies publish on the Switch store and stuff. But mostly they're in it for their first party games, and they know that, and they get a lot of that stuff out for things like the Switch and on. And then they fill it up with all the second, third party game developers out there. But with Sony and Microsoft, they've been slacking heavily on those first parties. We know Microsoft, they've been really slacking. I don't know what's going on. It could be that whole remote thing. I've been hearing a lot of stuff about people complaining about the remote thing issues that people want, that these companies want these people to come back to work in offices to make games, which they, in my mind, they should do. I think it's better that the people are there at the studios to collaborate when they need to. There could be a few people like outsiders that are doing like, I don't know, PR or something that could be in remote work. But for the people that are making the games themselves, I always believed in them all being together in the studios. I know people don't want to go to work, but shit, I go to a job. I'm not sitting here on my desk and in my house all day, every day. I go and drive to a job. I go to a job every day, you know. And you can't say, well, I can't do that. Well, you did it before. You can do it again. And I think people think they're so privileged nowadays, and it's a whole society issue too. It's I gotta blame society too. Society has gone in the wrong direction, and a lot of people feel like they're entitled not to do that. And they're like, oh, now that we can do this remotely, now that we got the internet and we got the infrastructure and I can easily do the same job I've been doing at home, I'm going to do this at home. But then there's the security reasons, the approval reason, you know, a lot of different reasons on why that could be a iffy thing going forward, you know, mainly security, leaks, like a Grand Theft Auto. There's, do I have this up here? Yes, I do have it. There's a story I'm going to be talking about in the games news about the whole Grand Theft Auto 6 issue. It might be pushed back because remote workers don't want to go back to work, apparently, at the office. And Rockstar wants them to go back in the office. And because Rockstar, first off, they're chomping at the bit to try to get this game out this upcoming year and in 2025. And they need all hands on deck, and they don't want all these leaks coming out anymore. They don't want more leaks, no more hacks, no more anything. And people really don't want to go back to the office anymore. And I think that's one of those main reasons why all these other studios, especially at Microsoft, who knows, they're probably way more relaxed on the return to the office kind of thing going on, because they're their own bad thing. Like I said, purely, I know this is probably a very unpopular opinion on my part. I don't believe in remote work for every job, especially if you're in production for like filmmaking and production for video games and stuff. You need that extra collaboration, and looking at and talking to people on a screen on a Zoom call does not help that. You need people to be there directly across from you, or an office or something next to you, so you can walk and go to them. They can come to you. You can talk and collaborate better. Not over a cell phone, not over a video picture. You need to be together in certain situations and to collaborate on making these games and getting them done faster, cleaner, stuff like that. And I'm wondering that the extra time that it takes to make these games is because people are doing it remotely, whatnot. For Microsoft, also for Xbox, Phil Spencer in Xbox's case, they give their studios maybe a little too much leeway. I said this before. I think these people get a little too much leeway. I know Sony does that as well sometimes, but I'm hearing that they're reeling in a lot of these companies and these studios as well right now too, or shuttering them and closing them off. But otherwise, Microsoft Microsoft too, because it is a Microsoft company and it goes all the way up. But Phil Spencer and Xbox maybe should rein in some of these game developers that they own under the roof now, and they should maybe tell them, hey, you got to focus more on these games. We got to get these games done and out of here, and they got to be nicely polished. Try not to overdo it. What are you doing? What is this? Maybe doing more reviews or something, more quality reviews, more game. I don't know how they do it, but more reviews on all these studios, because it's like they got so many of these game studios. What's happening at all these game studios? How many of these game studios are actually working on game projects right now? And why is it taking so long for some? They should be having a bunch of these studios putting out some major games. And all we've been seeing is mostly Bethesda games and a few others from here and there. And that Halo Infinite horror game that came out that was very bad. But where's everything else? Where's the Gears of War stuff? They've been quiet. Where's that Fable game that everybody is always talking about, that we're talking about, that I would love to play, a new Fable game? Will we hear about a new Forza Horizon in the horizon coming up for this year? What about what is it? Double Fine. What are they doing for their next project? Is that Hellblade actually coming out? The Hellblade 2? I think they took too long to make that game, and those games are supposedly short. I started playing the first game. I got to play more of that. I gotta get through that game eventually, but or sit down one day and just crank through that game or something. It looks like a game I can crank through in a day or something. People are saying. I think I looked it up. I think it's a shorter game, but the guys maybe get on these studios a little bit more. Say, hey, what are you doing? What are your plans? What is the game? Here's your thing. You got a budget. We're going to have to budget some of you because you guys are being too relaxed on your budgets and getting out stuff. You got to work a little harder and do a little bit more. Sometimes you got to do that. Maybe a lot of these companies, like I said before, maybe some of these studios shouldn't be doing bigger projects. Maybe they should be doing smaller projects and learning how to work with stuff if they're learning stuff, or maybe make smaller projects and then they can plan out another big project down the road. Give people some smaller projects, and then they can do some bigger projects while other studios are doing bigger projects, and other studios could do smaller projects. You could go back and forth. That's how I feel that what these companies should be doing. Not everybody trying to make the next AAA or whatever looking AAA game, and it comes out to be a dud because they're overworked on it and overproduced it, and they didn't put much love into that game. What they should be doing. So, and games and game production is getting more expensive. These consoles are expensive. Like I said, I know it's expensive. I paid full price for my Xbox Series X. I know it's expensive. The PlayStation 5, very expensive hardware too, and they're not lowering costs because it's costing them a lot of money. And game production's costing a lot of money. Look at the Spider-Man game. What was it? $500 million or whatever, $300 million or something astronomically high that it cost to make that Spider-Man. What is it? 2 or 3? I forgot what it was. That recent Spider-Man game. It's like, yeah, you're talking about how much films cost to make. Even films are seemingly costing a little bit less to make than video games. Video games are outpacing what a film needs to be costing to make and stuff. And that's not even talking about advertising and stuff. And then they come out to be duds, and it's like, or else they're really good and you don't got the install base, which there's way less people wanting to buy these huge next-gen expensive consoles because, like I said, they're big, or mostly the Sony one is big. The Xbox Series X is not that big. If you put that on a table or shelf, it's really not that big. It looks weird because it's a rectangular prism, but it's really not that big. I have it on my table in my living room. It's not that big. The price is, though, $500, give or take, plus tax and all that stuff. That's expensive. And then Sony wants to come out with a PS5 Pro, which could cost upwards to, I don't know, if they're talking about all this extra horsepower and stuff to get 4K this, and that, even though the PS5 should have did that natively already, but they're talking about all this extra horsepower and stuff. I would say upwards to $800, maybe $799.99. I know a lot of people said, oh, maybe it's $699.99. I'm thinking it's upwards to easily $800 for the next Xbox. The Xbox, or the PlayStation, the PlayStation Pro, 5 Pro. Because the PlayStation 5 Pro is like, what, $500 as well? So you're thinking, well, the next one up from that is going to be even more expensive because it's going to cost them more to make. And technology is still expensive, and they're touting it's supposed to be super expensive. I'm thinking tack on another $200 to that, so $800 doesn't sound like something out of the ordinary for it. But who's gonna want that? Because here's the thing. Here's the whole notion that the industry as a whole. This is the industry as a whole, and they all forgot it because it's all a bunch of corporations and stupidity, and a lot of the love that was going into a lot of games has been slowly leaking out in future titles and other games and stuff, unless if it's indie or if it's one of these companies like Ryogoku Studios that understands their technology and they reuse their assets a lot and they reuse their characters and they might make them a little better res or something. They might do a little something to them, but anywho, it's easier to make great games and they focus on the story and the gameplay. Everything's costing more to make. And the whole original idea, or semi-whole original idea, not maybe back in the Atari era, but in, the Nintendo, Super Nintendo and stuff, Xbox era, consoles were supposed to be cheap. They're supposed to be things that, okay, normal people, most people don't know much about Windows and playing games on a PC or something. That's where consoles came into the limelight. They're supposed to be the cheaper, simpler boxes, dumb boxes where people could pop in a game disc or download a game and play them. And that's it. Now you got all this stuff in them and you got to do all this other stuff. You got to install, you got to download, install the games. They're bigger, they're more complicated for people, and the games are getting bigger, they're more complicated, they're more costly, and the industry is getting themselves in trouble because all they're trying to do is innovate, because, they listen to their small minority groups of people saying, oh, we want a more powerful console, we want it more powerful, and more powerful, and more powerful. Yeah, but that doesn't mean you're going to get it cheaper. It's just the price on that console is going to go up, and up. And if you don't want to pay that price, which a lot of people are saying, oh, this is too expensive or whatnot, or I don't even understand what Microsoft's problem is with the Xbox. I think it's just because of the notion that nobody really wants to buy an Xbox Series X or S too much out there in Europe I'm thinking more of biasness, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But overall, the whole idea of the console gaming and the whole industry as a whole, I think it's just getting too expensive. And a lot of people out there are trying to say, no, we got to make these games and you got to pay people and it costs more to pay people and blah. But it's like, well, something's got to give. Because you're going to make it so high, you're going to make that debt and that ceiling so high that it's just going to topple over. And then there you go. You just killed most of the video game industry. Just because you guys got to keep innovating. I don't think we need next-gen consoles. tell you the fact, even though I love owning an Xbox and stuff, I think these consoles are perfect right now. And I think developers should learn how to take and utilize more power out of these consoles that we got now. And then, I hate to say it, tack on another 10 years to each of these consoles. I know that's a long time, but you tack on another at least 5 to 10 years. 5 to 10 years of this console. I know it sounds ridiculous. Imagine what these developers would do and how they would make their games going forward for these consoles, because not only will the technology of these consoles eventually get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, because all the stuff will be just, getting oversupplied, and, when you got more oversupplied than the demand and the consoles, they'll lower the console prices because, they're easier to make, they're cheaper to make, the products are cheaper and easier to make because they've been plentiful out there and stuff, and more people will buy those consoles because they'll get cheaper out there eventually over time to buy them and play games off of them. And you can have a longer install base and a bigger install base and a longer time frame for your games. And these gaming companies should just learn to be like, okay, maybe we got to scale some of this back on our games. Maybe we got to make them a little less gigantic and super graphically impressive and stuff. Unless if you want to just do it on PC, go ahead. But there's got to be some expectations. And it seems like all those expectations of what consoles used to be has gone out the window for reliability, sustainability, cost, having it cheaper in cost, and the simplicity of the console. It's gotten complicated for most people out there. Not for me. I'm a geek. I like having all the extra stuff and apps and being able to do this and that with my console and using it as a media player and center and stuff and all that. But if you go, and I go to my, one of my older friends, my 50-year-old friend, 50-plus-year-old friend, I should say, he looks at it and he goes, the last thing I played was a regular PlayStation, and holy shit, now it's like, I don't know what to do. I don't even know how to play these games, because they got so much into the realisticness. They want every game to look as polished and realistic and produced as much as they can. They forgot the whole notion, the whole core notion of gaming in general, that it's supposed to be simplicity and fun. They're leaving out the fun of most of these games, and they're just putting on more production and more of this and more of that, and it's costing more for these games. And then they go, "Oh, we're not making enough for $60. We got to make $70 from all these games. Now they're saying, now we're not making enough money out of these $70 games. So we got to raise it to $80, or we got to charge you extra for this, or New Game Plus, or this or that." And it's like, when does it stop? And maybe because you're not making as much money for your $70 games is because you're charging $70 for these games. And a lot of people out there are not going to be spending $70. I said it myself. I don't really want to buy games for $70. Like on the Switch, I refused to buy Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom because it was $70. My friend bought it for me, so I didn't have to pay anything for it. But still, me personally, I did not want to spend $70 on that game because it's not an next-gen game. There was no reason to that game to cost $70, and there's a lot of games that don't deserve to be costing $70 out there, but yet certain people we'll say Ubisoft thinks some of their games are worth that $70 price point, and they're going to go ahead and say, hey, we're charging $70 for this quadruple A game, and it's a piece of shit, and it doesn't work or play right, and it's no fun because there's no fun put into that game. I think if they would have kept the games consoles part of the industry a bit simpler, and they just gradually, slowly upped their graphic capabilities for their consoles like Nintendo did, maybe they wouldn't have run into this problem right away. Now, sure, you wouldn't be getting these super big photorealistic games, unless if you maybe went to PC to play them. But you would get something looking really good on your TV sets, and it would still play very well. And you would have fun playing these maybe shorter adventures, shorter places, and there would be more fun packed into that experience. Now it's just going all over the place and going all overboard. So if they keep going on this trajectory, if these people at Sony and, at PlayStation, I should say, Sony PlayStation, Microsoft Xbox, if they keep going this direction, they're just going to kill themselves off. Or else everything's going to change dramatically. Microsoft might get out of the whole console business altogether and just go to PC. Just stick with all the first-party games on PC. They'll keep their Xbox store and Game Pass just PC side, and then people will be like, oh, I don't got a console anymore. Well, everybody blew it. Everybody blew it. The industry got too greedy because there's too much, because there's a problem. Like I said, corporations on top of that, too much greed, too many shareholders wanting a big return. And I always said this, and I say it again today, any company that has their market in the stock market and they have shareholders and venture capitalists or whatever in the pockets, that's always a bad thing, because that means the individuality, there we go, of that said company is now beholden to shareholders and all that shit, and not to quality of products and goods and services, and keeping it prices low and making a good amount of money off of those prices. And then you got your labor costs going up too much and everything else going up too much, and then it's unsustainable that way. Then all you're going to have left is indie developers, indie games, and people like Right Goku Studios that understands how to make games in this game market and not trying to overproduce and overmake too much stuff. I don't know. That's how I feel. I think they could take a bad step and then we're going to see a big drop in gaming. That's what they're talking about now. They're talking about how there's going to be an even bigger drop or even bigger drought of games going forward soon. And that, we had our little period of time where we had a lot of great games, and now it's going to be a drought again. That might be the thing going forward. We'll have some good games in a pocket period, and then it's going to be a big drought. And then it's going to be another big drought and whatever, and another pocket of games, because things are taking too much time, costing too much money. There's too many shareholder opinions, and they're just trying to push things too far, trying to push tech and costs too far instead of keeping things simple. Nintendo's keeping things simple, but nobody else is. And people out there, gamers and people alike, they don't all have decent jobs. People can't afford stuff like I or you can, if you're one of those lucky people that can afford to spend $70 on this game, $70 on that game. Or you have great internet like I do, where I have gigabit fiber internet and I can just download games to my Xbox or anything in a pinch, in a just me going click, oh, there's my game downloaded, because I can afford the internet and I could get Game Pass. A lot of people can't do that. There's still a lot of people out there that can't do that, and they're being left out. And if they're being left out because it's too high of a cost for them, you're not getting their money. And if you're not getting their money, then you're not making money. You're hearing about, contracting and expanding all the time. Maybe it's time that they contracted just a little bit and they keep it that way, or keep it as it is now, instead of saying, let's just build upon this. I think the whole notion of Sony even considering building a PS5 Pro is a not a damn shame. It is a stupidity. It's a stupid thing. Look at what they did already with the PlayStation VR headset, the PS VR 2 headset. That's already gone down the drain because they didn't want to support it. Just like they did with the Vita. They killed the PSP and Vita market because they didn't want to support the handheld, and they're basically flushed it down the toilet. Same thing with PSVR 2. They can't even sell them. They got warehouse full of them, so they stopped making them because nobody wants them because there's no games. They're too expensive. And what are they going to do with them? You know? So Sony did it to themselves, and now they're going to try to sell you guys on a PS5 Pro that's going to cost almost $800. Where's the market in that? And then by doing so, people at Microsoft, the so-called financial executives or whatever, going to go, oh no, I saw that the PlayStation Sony just released this higher grade PlayStation. What are we doing? Are we going to release our Xbox Pro that costs way more money? No, you don't have to. Microsoft doesn't have to. If they could keep the prices down, like I always said, Microsoft has the money to do the big impossible, the big no-no. They have that money to do the biggest financial thing that, sure, they'll lose a bit of money in the process, but they can gain a lot of hearts around the United States and Europe. And I said this before. If Microsoft, next gen or this gen, if they decided to drop their prices of these consoles like by $200, something like that, $150, $200, made them like $199, $299 for the Series X and the $199 for the Series S and stuff. I know that's a ridiculous thing. That would be a ridiculous thing. Nobody will ever do that. And sure, yes, I'm understanding they probably wouldn't because they'd be losing a lot of money. But think about it. If they lowered the costs on those, got a few extra new games out of the pipeline on their side with Game Pass, said, hey guys, you can get these consoles now for $199, $299 going forward. Oh, and we're going to throw in a free game, one free game for each when you get the consoles to download, or a disc-based one. I would offer that too, especially for the Series X. Or unless if they come out with the new Series X that I've been hearing where it's all digital, which that'd be cool too. And they come out and they go, here, free game, just like they used to do back in the day, and your new Xbox, and it's only like $199 or $299. You know, take your pick. And because they're so much undercutting Sony and all that, they can afford to take the hit. And I'm sure people around Europe and people around other places be like, that's a dirt cheap price. Oh, and Game Pass is pretty cheap too. Oh, and if we have decent enough internet, we can download these games, purchase them, whatnot. Sure, they could do the whole, discs thing again. Hold on one second, folks. I got to just do something quickly. Okay, I'm back. I had to quench my thirst. It's getting a little dry in the throat here. It's getting a little hot in this office here. But if they do that, I'm sure they would get a lot of people switching over to the Xbox side, especially if they had some really good first-party games coming out and some third parties going, okay, we'll do this. Especially if they did something else, like if you buy our if you buy your games digitally on our platform, for first party or third party, we'll take off an extra $10 off those games. Like, you know what they used to do, like Amazon and everybody used to do when the publishers were like, oh, why are you doing that? Why are you taking off $10 on each of those? Which I'm sure the publishers still got the money for. I don't know why they were complaining. What Amazon would do or somebody would do where they would drop the price like $10 if you pre-ordered with them or something. If Microsoft did that shit, but with every game, and made all the games, even the new $70 games, $10 cheaper, made them back to $69 or cheaper, and took a cut up and undercutted themselves for a bit with that, you can get a whole mess of that market back. You could get a whole bunch of people going, ooh, Xbox really good and really cheap with all their games and hardware. Sure, it's not 4K, 60, blah, 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 but it's decent hardware at a decent price, and they're getting out a lot of games for it. Okay, we'll go back over to Xbox. I bet that would happen. Because then Sony would look like idiots and they'd be like, well, you're buying our premium products at a premium price. But I don't know. Because I also think, and I'm going to talk about this now, I also think over in Europe, why Sony has a better foothold is because Sony is a European product. It's a Japanese European product, just like the Switch is. And they don't like American-made hardware and products. I'm guessing that they are biased towards our tech, our way of tech, even though most of the tech was invented here in America, and then it goes out overseas and blah, blah, blah. But we won't get into the history of technology. But I think they got a lot of bias, and I think a lot of them just hate Microsoft. It's just the company they want to hate, because Microsoft didn't do well back in the past. You know, they liked the 360 for a bit, but then after the Xbox One, after the debacle that was the launch of the Xbox One, and I gotta admit, yes, it was a debacle because you had some bad people running that gaming division at that time, and you know, you had Steve Ballmer still, I think, at the helm of the Xbox One launch and stuff. He was still the CEO of the company, and I'm sure a lot of stupidity. A lot of people didn't know a lot of things, and him and the leader of the Xbox at that time, I forget his name because I just don't care anymore. They fucked it up. And like Phil Spencer said, that was a crucial time. And now Phil Spencer's still trying his hardest to try to get that company and Xbox back on track. And it is not easy. This is probably the hardest time for him as a game executive, because everything is just going up. You know? And he just wants a win. He just wants to get a W off of this. And like I said, they could. Could they do that? Sure, but will shareholders let them do something like, make an Xbox Series S and X cheaper, make it $199, $299? No way, because they don't want to lose the money. They don't want to put more investment into that part of the division. Even though they're a $3 trillion company and they can afford it, and they can afford to make the games a little cheaper for a temporary bit, and maybe get these other game makers back on track outside as third parties to say, hey, let's not make these gigantic games that cost us a fortune and that we lose people. Nah. People are just going to keep riding the same waves. And like I said, we also got the European people that are used to just buying the European things and saying, American Xbox? Nah, we don't want that here. We're more to our own group. I'm surprised that here in America they don't do that and say, we don't buy PlayStation. We only buy Xboxes here. I don't know. There's a lot of biasness out there. A lot of European biasness, because in Japan, all that. And you would think it'd make better sense, because Microsoft does try very hard to get those consoles really good. And they're small. The Series S is really small. You'd think a lot of the Japanese people would be very happy with it. But also they're playing on smartphones and tablets and stuff out there. And Sony's not even doing the best with their console. The only people that are doing great all over the place is Nintendo, because the Switch is way less money. Even though it's way less powerful, it's way less money. It's smaller, and it does a lot of great things, and it is simple. You got a handheld, you pop it into the dock, you got a console. What's the problem? And then when eventually they come out, hopefully next year or whatnot, with the next Nintendo Switch whatever, it'll be a bigger leap in technology and graphics for them, but it won't be costly. They'll keep the prices down because that hardware is going to be easy. They're easier to make because, you know what? Microsoft and Sony want to just push it too far. Why don't you just make PCs then? Like a lot of people said. But that's why Nintendo is doing okay. And Sony and Microsoft are like, and you keep hearing stuff from both of them and all their studios and how much everything's costing. So there's going to be a big shakeup. I'm sure there'll be a big shakeup in the video game industry. Things are going to change for the good or the worst. I don't know. All I can say is I'm happy I was living at a time, and I started living at a time, and I started, gaming at a time where everything was really good and hot, and I got to live a good thing going forward into the future. If gaming dies again in a way, or semi-dies, and it's just Nintendo again, which it could be. You never know. It could be just a Nintendo dominant future. I would not hate that too much. I'd be upset a little bit that I'd be like, oh, well, I love my Xbox. I could play all my games that I got stored up for over time. I got plenty of those for PC and Xbox, so I'm good. And Switch. But, I don't know. I do kind of know, but people don't want to listen to what I want to know because people, like I said, are biased out there. People don't want to hear that. People want to say, no, they can make more powerful systems. They can come out with more bigger, larger games out there. I want my dollar's worth. No, nobody wants to spend money anymore. Nobody wants to support people anymore. Nobody wants to go get out and try some new stuff. People don't want to relax things a bit. It's always got to be bigger, better, cheaper. And that doesn't sustain too well. Especially the cost of human labor and stuff going up all the time. That's another attribute to why these games get more expensive. And then you got the problems with remote work, and that costs probably a bit more to do remote work, I'm guessing, in a lot of areas. And then, I don't know. I think somebody should pull on those reins a little bit, and if Microsoft wanted to hold off and just keep this console and let Sony just go off into the wilderness and keep making their stupid consoles, and Microsoft just trying to, make all this stuff cheaper and better and say, hey, developers, we'll pay you a little extra if you publish on the Xbox here, like they've been doing for Game Pass, but do it for regular as well. Do it for games like try to get that damn regular Final Fantasy VII over there. Why hasn't Square Enix tried to port Final Fantasy VII yet on the Xbox? Oh, it's because they got a small fan base, a small install base. Okay, but if you got no more install base for PlayStation, I'm sure you would get something out of Microsoft. Maybe Microsoft might give you a little bit of bonus cash if you do it. Especially if you thought about putting the next these Final Fantasy games or Final Fantasy VII Rebirth or whatever remakes, and you put it on Game Pass or something. Maybe Microsoft would be entitled to give you a bigger bonus of money or something. I don't know. But everybody's up their own asses and stuff. It's like, I don't know. I know I keep saying I don't know. I do know. I do know what people should have to do, but like I said, people don't want to listen. People think they know. So if ships go down, the ships go down. People overestimate stuff. People want too much. People get too greedy. What do you expect is going to happen in this industry? It's happening already in the film industry. There's way less movies coming out now because they're getting too big, too expensive. Everything's just a couple companies now, and they're all shareholder owned. And you got some of these CEOs that are complete worthless jackasses that don't know what they're doing, killing movies when they're made because they feel like we're not going to get our value back from the movie. Well, what do you know? And two, you just killed a movie because you can get tax credits off of it. Okay, that's dirty. And they delete the shit out of it. It's not a good area. Like I said, I already boycotted WB. I'm not buying any more of their products or services. I don't care if they got some good movies coming out. I don't care if they got good games from their side coming out anymore. And I know that's also goes for Mortal Kombat and then Justice stuff from NetherRealms, unless if they get out of that. And it's sad to say, but companies like that just kill the creativity, and they just the freedom is gone. But like I said, the film industry is getting too expensive. Films are not being made proper. They're getting too big or whatever they're saying. And they're losing money. Everybody's losing money because everybody wants bigger and higher, and they keep trying to jump up to the next level. And maybe, just maybe they got to tone down the levels a little bit. Just maybe. Anything else I had on my list here? I already said everything I had to say on here. Why do we even still need standalone game consoles? That's something else I wrote on my list. Well, if everything's more bigger, more powerful, and everything is PC-like already, and the consoles are more complicated than ever, then yeah, why not just have everything on PC? I still don't understand why Microsoft can't get a lot of these third parties to just publish their stuff on their game, not Game Pass, but PC, the PC, Xbox PC side of the storefronts. Give them a little extra incentive, and instead of publishing just only, and say, hey, you could still publish to other third parties, but publish to, Xbox PC will give you a little bit more cha-ching for you putting your game on our site, on our service. Then you can have Steam and the Xbox service, and instead of just being all separate. Because there's a lot of games that, like I said, there's a lot of games that I would like to play on my PC, but I can't because they're all locked down in other things, and I just don't want to download from the Epic Game Store. I don't want to download from Battle.net or NVIDIA's game site. I don't want to download from those. I want to do it off my Xbox PC, my Microsoft PC, because that's what I want it on. Not on these other ones. That one. Or sometimes Steam, if it's something Steam that, related. That makes sense to me. If it doesn't have achievements, of course. Because I'm an achievement whore. But I still think, Europeans are going to hate me for this. I still think Europe and the Asian Europe markets are very, very, very biased against these consoles. And Microsoft should think about that. Phil Spencer should think about that and say, yeah, there's a lot of biasness against our company and our products, and I don't know if there's anything can ever change for that. I don't know. Unless if you got, even if you put a division over in Europe with all that stuff, and they just made the games and published them over in Europe, and they're still Xbox, but it's like Xbox Europe. I don't know if that would help. I don't know what to do with that. I don't know. I'm just going to continue to play what I can, see what comes out. Hopefully there's a lot of good stuff that still comes out, and we'll see what we see. Let's see here. Anything else before the games and talk news? Because we are getting late into the podcast again. Even though I try to say I'm going to try to shorten it up, it still seems like I end up talking way too much. And then you hear me ranting and talking nonsense. And it's bad. I sometimes hate talking about this stuff when it's always a lot of nonsense and doom and gloom kind of stuff, scenarios, or, the industry. Sometimes the industry talks too much about the industry, or people talk too much about the games industry as a whole and how bad it is and if it's sustainable and stuff. It used to be simpler. Used to be, these publishers have these groups of people inside the publishers that make the great games, and these guys are creative enough, and they make these great games. They put them out. They look good. They play good. Fun games at a reasonable price, and then you got your indies, you got your AAAs, you got your AA's, you got these sports games, you got your open world shooters, and now it's like everybody's trying to chase after everybody else. Everybody wants to do the same thing. It's just, it gets ugly. But then you get those gems, those few gems that come out of the ugliness and from smaller studios or more creative studios or bigger creative studios, and they know what they're doing, and they come out with great hit after hit, and everybody goes, how is that possible? And then you got everybody talking about, there's only people playing these 4 or 5 games that are playing on Fortnite and Roblox and Grand Theft Auto 5 online and Minecraft and whatever the other one was, and that's all they play. Well, if that's all they play, that's all they play. What can you do about that? You're not going to get those people onto your other platforms because that's all they play. That's all they play. What are we going to do about it? Stop crying about it. If that's what happened, oh well, that's what happened because those are great games for them and they're going to keep playing. Hey, I used to play Minecraft for a long time and before I started playing more other games at a certain time, and you know what? Hey, eventually maybe some people would get bored of it. I got a friend where every Xbox he owned, he only had one real game that he ever played on, and that was freaking Fight Night. That's all he wanted to do is play Fight Night, and that's all the time, anything I ever seen of him. I tried to get him on other games. We played some other games together a little bit, but then he would just not be too into him, and he'd go back and play more Fight Night, more Fight Night, more boxing. And even though the game is really old and they haven't come out with a new Fight Night since the last one, he still plays it online. I still see him on Xbox playing it online. So you're not going to get those people to play other games. It's not going to happen. So these companies and industries got to live with it, and they got to understand that, and they got to readjust and stop making things too expensive. That's the whole thing. It's cost. Too much cost. Too much cost for hardware. Too much cost to make the software. Too much cost in general. You lower the costs. You lower all that stuff. You make great hardware still and great games, and you keep it simple. Keep it safe. People will hopefully come back. Maybe they'll come back better than ever. I don't know. Just a thought. And the whole Europe thing from Microsoft, I don't know. They got to do some really interesting European stuff. I don't know. Like I said, I think there's a lot of biasness over there across the pond. That's my belief. Like I said, Japan, you got PlayStation, Nintendo. They're right there. That's their hometown advantages over there. That's what they like. Over here on this side of the pond, you got Microsoft, tech company, making video games with the Xbox. I don't even know if they take them seriously enough, but they try. They just got to do different methods, I guess. So what am I deciding to play next after Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth? Because, like I said, I'm going to do some cleanup gameplay, some bonus gameplay, some other gameplay. Like I said, Evil West going forward, Diablo 4 going forward. Those are going to be my main titles that I'm going to be going forward with Evil West and Diablo 4. Maybe I'll do some Army of Ruin as well. You know, all the stuff that I have on the video version here, if you're watching the video version of the podcast. Those are the games that I'm going to be streaming and putting out videos to play going forward with. Maybe I'll get back into some Switch games again. But down the road, I got to start working on this because I haven't done it yet because I got to make video and stuff and I got to test everything out. But those Command & Conquer games, all those Command & Conquer games that I want to start streaming and making videos of Command & Conquer games again. Do a Command & Conquer series. That would be fun. And maybe some other casual stuff. Maybe I'll get into City Skylines again. Go back to that. Make some cities with that. The original City Skylines. Not the second one. That one I still think is still in bad shape. I don't know. I got to look that up. But I think it's still in a bad shape. But the original Cities Skylines, I would like to go back to. But mostly it's going to be the games you see on the screen here. Diablo 4, Evil West, Army of Ruin. Those are going to be my main streams and stuff and playthroughs of games and stuff. Then, like I said, I got a whole library of games. I got plenty of backstock, folks. Got plenty of games to stream, talk about, have fun with. There's more games on Game Pass than ever. Maybe I'll get back into the Final Fantasy games or something. I want to maybe try to play those a little bit. I don't know. Got plenty of stuff. So I'm not worried about it. But going forward, maybe this Friday, I have not decided yet exactly what I'm going to be playing on Friday for Friday stream. this Friday, but it could be between Evil West and Diablo 4. It's one of those two. More so probably... Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to think about it because I'm still in my early stages of thinking about it. When this podcast goes up, I will have my answer. Then you'll know. When you go to OldFreakyGamer.com and you look it up on the schedule sheet, you'll know which game I'm going to stream that day. So why don't we get into the games news that is the games news of the show? Because why not? Because it's the games news. And like I said, the show is getting mighty long again. And excuse me for all the ranting and stuff I've been doing, but it tends to happen with my podcasts. And, you know, when there's a lot of shit going on in the podcast industry, it's got to be talked about. You know, we got to recognize. And if you love gaming as much as I do, you take that stuff kind of seriously. Like I said, I got a big backlog on a lot of stuff. I can survive with all the games that I got. There's more games than I'm ever going to play, probably. I'm probably going to die way before all these games are played. I hate to say that. That sounds like a bad thing, but there's a lot of games. And I purchased way too many of them. And I don't have that much time. Like I said, it's getting warmer. Eventually it'll get warmer weather. It'll be better weather out there. I will be outside more than doing gaming and stuff going forward. So, you know, because when it gets that spring and summertime, Mr. Mike got to go out and get a little tan and get a little happier out there. Better weather. I can open up the window, let some fresh air into the office and stuff. Yeah, a little bit of heat. Then I'm not doing as much gaming. I still will do gaming because I got my ROG Ally and stuff and my Switch, and I could just take it outside my front deck porch and just lay on the couch out there and do some gaming. But I'm mostly going to be working on the house more, on my vehicle. I'm going to do some stuff with that as well. Do some mostly around the house though. But you know, don't have to worry about too much of that. What's coming out in the gaming coming forward, you know. So here's the games news that is the games news of the show.
The games news from the past week.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about some other things in the industries like, you know, protection software, anti-piracy, or anti-cheat software and stuff like that. You know, like the ones from your favorite makers of Denuvo, the gamers love to death, or love to want to rip their heads off and shove them up the game publishers' asses with. But because people want to, you know, protect their games for anti-piracy and anti-cheating and stuff, and I can understand that. They got to protect their properties and stuff like that. Do they really have to go this far into doing stuff? Do they really have to use those, like, software like a Denuvo software, which is prone, at least on the PC side, to be like a, and they deny this all the time, but be like a rootkit for your computer where they go to the kernel level of your software to your hardware? That means they can, it's the lowest level. It's like what you'd use, like people use when they use their antivirus software so they could get rid of viruses and stuff because they're at the lowest level of the highest, what should I say? The highest security level, where they can get access more stuff into Windows and stuff that they can see and search and destroy things easier, because Windows is not going to go, no. It's not going to do the Nedry thing. No, you can't do that because you're at the kernel level. You can do that because Windows can't stop you from doing that stuff. And Denuvo puts that software where it could go to that lowest level in a video game, which when it installs, it's going to install at that lower level in your system where it has full access to your system, basically. And it sees all, it knows all, and it could slow down shit. It could do stuff, even though they say that they don't slow down shit. Oh, their software slows down shit for video games and stuff like that. So apparently, Lenovo unveiled a new tech to track down leakers and stuff of video games, anti-piracy of games, mostly leakers and stuff that leak, video game footage early or stuff like that, and because they get the games or they find builds of the games online or something. Something happens where they get a hold of source code, and a lot of gamers play the games earlier, and then the whole thing is, something can happen, and if a bad guy figures out there's a back door to this de novo software, or there's just a hole in the software and somebody finds it, they can do some really bad damage to people's computers and hardware. They can turn them into botnets, or that was the harshest thing. People said, they can turn them into botnets. They can erase your data because they're at the lowest level, so they got the security level that they can do more things than you can do on the surface of Windows. Like right now, I'm on the surface of Windows, as you can see. You can't see, but when I'm using the desktop and all, you're doing the basic Windows things. Now, note, I could do some stuff deeper in, but I have to go deeper down into the software because Windows will stop me from doing certain things because it has protections in that software. Once you're behind that wall, that virtual digital wall, you basically could do more things and basically do anything. If that's understandable to the less techie, geeky people out there. But, companies are worried about their trademarks and their products and their IPs and stuff. So Lenovo's like, we can protect you. If anybody steals your data or your game footage, or you don't want certain game footage out there, or snapshots or whatever that leaks games and whatnot, our software will not only take that software, whatever your software is, because it's in your software, I think. I don't know for sure if this is how it does it, because it says it's like a watermarking for the games, but a special watermarking for the games. But let's see here. With the launch of Trackmark for Gaming, we are setting up a new standard in anti-piracy for gaming industry of new markets. Let's see here. This innovative solution not only marks a significant milestone for Ardito, but it also represents a leap forward in protecting the creative and financial investments of game developers worldwide. We understand the unique challenges faced by gaming community. That Trackmark is our commitment to ensuring that these valuable assets are safeguarded throughout their life cycle. We're excited to see what positive impact we'll have in the industry. Let's see here. Like I said, Lenovo's anti-tampering software and DRM software that commonly use the big PC releases, even though it's been criticized for its altering of the performance of the video game because it needs a lot of that behind-the-scenes power. It sucks it away. Basically, this is a file tracking software that they're putting in these copies. I don't know if that means that they're going to put this file tracking software in everything, even their builds of the game. Like, if they're going to put out like some trial software, that they're going to have this software in that. But it's supposed to basically track whatever. So if you playing it illegally, you get a illegal copy, you're playing it and you're streaming a game or posting a game or something. I think that's what this does. So if the company doesn't want that stuff out there, they could say no, and this, I think, takes it down or doesn't let it go up or something. It's basically tracking software. So basically, people, I guess the company or companies will know who's doing what now. So basically they can track, well, if I did this and I was playing this game illegally or doing something or putting out videos, there's going to be like this digital watermark in every game that you cannot see, or unless if you got the technology and it senses it and it brings it back to the home office or whatever you do, and it could catch you and they could send the right people after. I don't know. It's just one of those stupid protections that, big companies are always like, well, we need more protecting. It's just like DRM on Blu-rays and stuff. It's stupid. It's encrypted. It's a stupid key encryption stuff that software can overtake, that it can decrypt those keys and stuff. It's just more anti-piracy, which is going to form more people pirating games and showing off games and music and footage. It's just another level of stupidity that these people are freaking out about. You're still going to get people stealing shit. There's still people going to be posting shit. You're not going to be able to stop them. It doesn't matter what you do. It's just a fool's errand when they think that. But they're also scared. But they should do better protecting behind the scenes, more likely than in front of the scenes, and hurting good customers that pay for their software to play games or whatever on, if they're using these third-party stuff like the Novo stuff, the lack of sales or whatnot because of all that piracy stuff, it can hurt them. I don't know. I know I always say I don't know, but that's pretty much it. So, Grand Theft Auto 6 production might be delayed behind Rockstar Games' return to the office mandate, because they want people to return to the office for many reasons, because they're in the final stages of crunch time. They want to get this out in 2025, like they were touting before in their presentation. And they want people back in the offices so they can collaborate better, that they can polish this game, I'm hoping super giant game, polish that up, tighten it up, make sure it's all working. And they don't want no more leaks, because maybe all these remote people that were remotely helping create GTA 6 is maybe costing them, these leaks and stuff are coming from that stuff. That could be a possibility. And they want to be more controlled over those people in the office, and the people don't want to go back to the office. So basically, Rockstar told employees they will no longer be able to work from home starting in April. So that's tomorrow, which is today as you're listening to this, April 1st. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see if the people will want to move back. I know a lot of people probably are like, oh, I'm going to move all the way out here away from Rockstar. Well, everybody should go, like I said, I believe in everybody should go to a job outside. Unless if you got a job like what I don't have here, but other streamers do, and that's your job, then sure, you stay at home. If there's certain little customer service jobs and gigs out there that you don't really need to be in an office, or they don't want you in an office for, and they want you to do it from your house and use your own internet stuff, sure. But if you're programming, doing film work, doing big giant projects that you need to collaborate with people, I think being in an office is better than being remotely at home. And like I said, there's a lot of lazy people out there, and they want to do it all remotely because they want to feel like they're in control, but not everybody works good while they're at home either. Hence why probably a lot of these game delays and stuff, because there's still people fighting the back to work in an office mandates, because everybody thought that we would all be working at home remotely for the rest of our lives, and that's not always the healthiest. That's not the best, and it's not the healthiest, people. Got to stop being scared of life. Life is going to get you one way or another. You can't run away from it. You can't hide from it. It never sleeps. It never surrenders. It keeps on coming until it hits its targets. Because life finds a way. I know, I created something really stupid there. I said something really funny and stupid, but it's true. You're not going to get away from it. But people think they can. And then a lot of those people are going to find out they're going to be pink slips in their digital inboxes the next time saying, sorry, you didn't show up to work. You're fired. Sorry. You didn't want to come back to work, even though we asked you many times way ahead. Oh, I can't go back there. But like I said, Rockstar's doing this because they want to protect their assets. They want better collaboration so they can get this game really good and polished for people like you and me to play. And they want it done right. And the best way to do that is they need their people back at the job. Right there. So we'll see. We'll see. Plus, I'm sure Take-Two Interactive, the parent company of Rockstar's, sweating it. I heard revenue and stock prices have dropped is 7%. Ooh, because people were scared of. People were like, "Oh, it's not the game ain't coming out. The Grand Theft Auto ain't coming out until 2025. We all thought it would be coming out this year in 2024." And Rockstar's like, "No, we're gonna have this ready in 2025." And I guess the CEO of Take-Two is like, "Yeah, we're thinking of big. We're gonna be making big profits in 2025 and 2026." And they're like, what? We want money now. Because, every company that has big shareholders and a lot of shareholders always hurts innovation, productivity, etc. Because investors, I'm sure a lot of investors, don't care about what the fuck you're doing or selling. They care about one thing, making that cheddar. And sure, if I ever did stocks, sure, I'd be caring about the money, but I'd probably also care about the company as well that's making me that money and what they're doing at that company. And a lot of business people do not. And now that people are saying that are close to the game's development state that the progress is slowing, the game's is very slow right now, and the game's release could slip into 2026, that wouldn't be good for Rockstar or Take-Two. That'd be pretty bad for them. But because they don't have enough workers in the office right now, and the remote work is going too slowly, and it's very insecure in a way, harder times over at Rockstar. So we'll see. We'll see and hope and pray that Grand Theft Auto 6 is not only going to just be a amazingly awesome game, but it'll come out hopefully in 2025. I don't know. Maybe they should have made the new Grand Theft Auto not so big, because I hear it's going to be like an entire state technically. I'm hoping there's a lot more I'm hoping there's a lot of quality plus quantity. I know there's a lot of quantity, but I would hope that the quality of that quantity, that's a tongue twister right there. Quality of quantity. I'm hoping the quality of the quantity is good, and that they're not just spending millions upon millions. What was it, 500 million or something they were talking, I think I was talking about, or plus on this Grand Theft Auto 6, and then I heard the CEOs and the people over at I'm trying to think here. I always get tongue-tied on what I'm going to say. But all the people, I'm hoping that this game doesn't turn into like a $80 game or something, because Zach Zalnis, that's the CEO of Take-Two. I don't know how to say his name properly here. Zach Strauss, is that it? I think he went on the record one time and saying, hey, maybe this game is going to be so expensive we might have to charge more money for it, like $80 or $100 or something. And I'm like, if you charge more than $70, you motherfucker, for this game in any way, shape, or form, and it would have to be a bad form, I would probably hold off of buying Grand Theft Auto. Most likely not, because I'm sure there'd be something that would happen now to get the game cheaper, like using my points or something. But if that was the case and they wanted like $100 for this game or something, I'd probably be like, okay, I'm holding off. And I'm sure you would definitely not to get as much of the fan base in to buy the game as that, because they don't want to spend $100 on one game. You know, there's very few people that can do it. Yeah. Okay, let's continue on. I'm not focusing on my game news here. We'll see what happens to Rockstar and stuff going forward. I'm sure hopefully they'll have another Grand Theft Auto trailer by September. Hopefully. We'll see something more than what we've seen. I don't know. Big shakeup at Nintendo Testing Center ahead of Switch 2 launch. Or ahead of Switch 2. It's not no launches yet. Nintendo of America lays off some contractors while converting others to full-time employees. Oh, funny, it's Nintendo of America. So Nintendo of America is restructuring a small army of contractors that helps test its games, that hardware in its Washington state headquarters. The company confirmed to Kotaku, according to four current and former contractors, the result is a massive downsizing that comes amid layoffs across the rest of the video game industry, and after Mario Maker reportedly delayed the launch of the Switch 2 successor until 2025. Meaning Mario Maker, meaning Nintendo. They don't mean Mario Maker the game, they mean Mario Maker the company. These changes will involve some contractor assignments ending, as well as the creation of significant number of full-time employee positions, blah, 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 blah. Let's see here. Contractors of Nintendo America who feel undervalued and underpaid have long called for the company to make them full-time red badge employees instead of exploiting loopholes in the seasonal work requirements. Well, some of them are fully... I'm still reading here. Exploiting the workers, blah, blah, blah. They want more money, blah, blah, blah. They should be treated like the rest of the company, da, 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 da. Understood. I don't know. The whole thing comes down to this. Money, expense, all that. Did Nintendo have to let go anybody? Could they just kept them and made them full-time contractors, or is that not the bottom line? I don't know. I definitely don't know about this one because it's Nintendo and Nintendo does what Nintendo does, and a lot of people don't understand about that. Sega is setting... I'm going to the next story here because I'm not going to just have a lot of dead air. Sega is selling Relic Entertainment and cutting 240 jobs in Europe. Jobs will be lost at the UK-based Creative Assembly, Sega Europe, and Sega Hard Light. Let's see here. Vancouver, Canada-based Relic specializes in real-time strategy games, including Company of Heroes, Age of Empires, and Homeworld series. I wonder if those games are sticking with Sega. Sega still said it's still selling Relic to a holding company to be... let's see here. The majority of the 240 job cuts will be made at Creative Assembly and Sega Europe, with a small number of also being cut at Sega Heartlight, all three of which are based in the UK. I guess a lot of people don't want to be making games in the UK anymore because of their stupidity. I don't know, just thinking. I hear a lot about a lot of game publishers and game makers and such companies just downsizing or leaving UK altogether too. Let's see here. I am still reading there. So basically, they're apologizing here in their little statement saying, "Oh, we're sorry, but we don't want people to worry," and blah 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 blah. We got to do this. We got to downsize something. We need to streamline, focus on what we are good at, and position ourselves at the best we can for the road ahead. In order to do that, we need to respond to the changing economic landscape and the challenges we are facing in the way of we develop our products and bring them to the market. Sega Europe laid off 121 employees at Relic in May of 2023 and last September, following the cancellation of some projects. Its European studios, including Creative Assembly's Hyenas, it's cut a further 250 jobs. Yeah, it's always bad. A lot of jobs getting cut in the video game industry. But hey, if they're not creating anything that's making money for the company and the shareholders, I'm saying it again, and the shareholders, then yes, that's why they're cutting back. Unfortunately, that's how it goes. And if that's how it goes, that's how they got to do it. Larian Studios won't be making Baldur's Gate 3 DLC expansions or even a Baldur's Gate 4. I'm sure you guys heard this already. They're basically getting out of the Baldur's Gate business. They want to work on their own original properties and stuff going forward. They were working with this IP, the Dungeons & Dragons IP, which is owned by Wizards of the Coast. So they're leaving the IP in the publisher Wizards of the Coast hands. They said it's not because of Wizards of the Coast, that it was just their decision to go forward and do something new and exciting and try something else, that they just said, hey, they've been good with us and their IP and their Dungeons and Dragons IP over there at the Wizards of the Coast, but they want to go ahead and do something else. They're not a DLC they're not a DLC company either, so they're not going to do that. They will keep patching up stuff in the game, but DLCs and expansions and stuff, that's not their game. So, and then they got their own property over at Larian Studios too, so I guess that's what they're going to do going forward. And will it be something RPG based in their own universe? Because I guess they got their own universe over at Larian as well. I didn't know. I don't know too much about Larian. The first and second Baldur's Gate games were developed by BioWare. Before Baldur's Gate 3, Larian was best known for developing the Divinity series, which I think is what they own. It seems like Larian's next project could be another Divinity entry in the let's see. Sequel is definitely on the okay. Vin K, which is I guess one of the people over at Larian, stated that Divinity Original Sin sequel is definitely on the horizon, but the team needed to work through Baldur's Gate 3 first, so it's unclear if Hasbro, which owns the Wizards of the Coast, will look for another developer. Oh, Hasbro owns Wizards of the Coast. I didn't know that. For potential Baldur's Gate 4, but the property has no doubt been hugely successful for them. It was revealed last month that Hasbro has made a whopping $90 million off of Baldur's Gate 3. In addition to the financial success, Baldur's Gate 3 has been a huge hit amongst the fans and critics as well. Now, as of a person like me, I like how Larian, they're like saying, okay, we could keep making more of these Baldur's Gates. We can make the DLC like everybody else, but we want to be creative. We want to go in another direction. We want to go back to our roots. We want to go make our own IPs. We'll make more money, stuff like that. They can do their own thing. It'll be a little easier for them to do their own stuff. So that's why they're doing that. It's nothing against the Wizards of the Coast and stuff. They said it was the great working conditions and stuff. They just want to do something else instead of more Baldur's Gate. I can understand that, and that's good that a company wants to try different things and not just stick with the roadmap of another sequel. Even though sometimes I like sequels to games a lot, but it's certain types of games that I like sequels to. But every game has to have a sequel and stuff. I never played a Baldur's Gate. I never played Baldur's Gate 3 either. I know it's the Dungeons and Dragons turn-based fake dice rolling game. If I ever do decide to play Baldur's Gate 3, it would have to be because they put it out on Game Pass eventually. If I see it on Game Pass, I'll try it out. especially if it's on like Game Pass for PC and stuff down the road. If it ever does get to that, I'll try it out. It's not the biggest cup of tea, but I'll try it out. You know, I have no problem trying out new titles and games and stuff. So there's that whole thing about an official Xbox handheld rumors that's been swirling around. That Phil Spencer's was chatting up with a few people, podcasters and other people in interviews and stuff, saying, hey, he would like to see a Xbox handheld someday, and he wants to know, what should we build, and will it find new players to build this Xbox handheld? I go, well, this is how I feel about that. When I hear him say, oh, we could build it would be nice to have an Xbox handheld, I always say, well, instead of making that super expensive next-gen console that nobody might buy, why don't you just go the Nintendo route and do something crazy over there at Microsoft and Xbox? Why don't you do an official Xbox handheld, but make it like a Switch-based? Make it like the ROG Ally, but do your own thing with it, where it's pluggable in the dock if need be, but you can unplug it from the dock and play it portably, you know, but plug it in the dock, and the dock could have more power to the dock with a bigger GPU in the dock or something like that, and it can make it so that it plays those games in 4K and whatnot, 60, whatever you wanted it at, but it's also just a dockable one. And even with the dock, they can plug in the Xbox memory card expansions or whatever if they wanted to, but yeah, have it like that. And then you don't have to go for total super powerful horsepower on everything. Just make it, you know, do it the Nintendo way a little bit. Look at what they do. And then, you know, make good games for it, and then people could pick it up, play it, make good battery life for it, and make it powerful enough, but with very good battery life, and then they can dock it, take an Xbox controller, play it on the TV or whatnot. I would be for that. I'd be like for the traditional Switch-like kind of a console from Microsoft. And I bet you a lot of people would buy it if you make it a reasonable price. You know, a decent price. It can be like, I don't know, make it $349.99. I wouldn't go. It'd be, or $399 would be the highest price point for that. If you got to do $399 for it, go ahead. I would do $349 for something like that, and then make it easy for people to put like better expansion memory in there, better drive support, like M.2 drives in there or something, for not just the handheld but for the base. Or if it's all in the handheld, then do it for the handheld. Make it so that they can pop in one of those memory units in that. That'd be cool. I don't know. It would have to be all digital, though, because I don't think Microsoft's going to go out and make memory carts for their games going forward, even though that would be pretty sweet, too. Imagine the next Xbox games. They're like, sorry, we're dropping disc-based games, but we're going to cartridge-based games. And we can hold up to 1 terabyte on each of these cartridges. Call of Duty, full edition on here, popping in your Xbox handheld. That would be pretty cool. I would love to see a little Xbox cart, like a Switch cart, but it's an Xbox portable console cart. That'd be pretty badass. I'm sure a lot of people would be like, ooh, Microsoft. And then you could still charge your $70 for them and stuff like that. I don't know. I would do that. I would love to see that. But that's just me talking out of the ass. But, you know, smaller system, it's a handheld. And then if you want more power for your games on your, like I said, for your TV and stuff for 4K 60, put more horsepower in the docking station itself, and then it utilizes that. But when it's undocked, you can play portably in your hand. And then also, if people want to play, I don't know, have it so it's got where it could still be used outside the portable. I don't know. Would people really care about that? Nah, they wouldn't care about that dual screen kind of thing. But yeah, do something like that. I would totally buy something like that from Microsoft that did that. And have it open too. Have it where it has your base level Xbox experience, just like the console, with, of course, Windows in the background, because it'd be Windows-based PC handheld. but also have it so that if people want to play third-party games like from Steam or something like that, they could put those stores on as well. And then, like they were talking about, which I'm going to talk about that in a second, that'd be pretty cool. Because then they got the options to do that, but then you got your base thing, and then you cheese them on and saying, we'll make these games cheaper on our platform, on here, on our app. Oh, we're going to give you achievements, all this other stuff, and then, you know, you could keep doing it as going forward. But at least he's interested, because Phil Spencer is a gamer, and as a gamer like me, he played the Rogue Ally, he played the MSI, he played a bunch of the Legion Go and stuff, and he's like, I want to make something that's Xbox purely made. And we all been talking about an Xbox handheld since the PSP days. I know I have. But I've been also hearing, oh yeah, why don't Microsoft make an Xbox portable handheld? And before, the technology, it was just too hard and wasn't there. Now that you see all these Steam Decks and portable handhelds and ROG Allies out there, it seems a lot more doable. Sure, it's more costly, but more doable. But it's pretty cool. And it's small enough, and I think people would be interested in stuff like that. I don't know. I know I do. I have the ROG Ally. I love it. But we'll see if Microsoft ever does come out with an Xbox handheld, or if this is just one of his wishful thinking, spurring out dreams where he's trying to test the waters and see what people like of it. He's already seeing people buying stuff. Like, I hear about the ROG Ally still all the time. Even though people say it's not the best, I still hear a lot of people saying, oh, I love my ROG Allies, and people are buying it, and it's one of the top Windows-based gaming systems handheld gaming systems out there. And then you got your Steam Deck is the best Linux-based system out there. So I got to say, I'm pretty happy with my ROG Ally. It's my portable Xbox already still. So talking about those other PC game stores on Xbox, Phil Spencer was talking about that, saying, hey, Xbox Chief Phil Spencer shares his wish to bring PC game stores to the console. And he's talking about the console, not to the PC side, but the console, giving players the freedom to choose where to buy their games from. Now, I don't understand where he's coming from this, because he's talking about PC stores on the Xbox. How are people like us going to play those PC games on our Xboxes? Or is he going to enable it, or are they going to make it so that we will be able to play these games on our Xboxes because we can install them and play them? Because Xboxes aren't, okay, they're PCs in a way, but they're not, but they got the hardware to be PCs. So it's kind of weird, but I'm sure there's a way to make it work. Phil Spencer supports third-party game stores. And, you know, he's also talking about this because he wants Microsoft to seem more open so that all these regulators out there are going, monopoly, 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 with all the Activision Blizzard. They want to be looking like they're still in good faith to everybody else. So, of course, he's going to say stuff like that. Phil Spencer wants to aim to break the closed ecosystem of consoles by including third-party storefronts to add to players' freedom of choice, unlike, you know, on Android, Apple hardware mainly. Android is more open. Apple software sucks. I was trying to use my friend's iPhone yesterday, and it just completely was horrible experience for me. Horrible. It wouldn't do shit from Shamola. I'm like, I can click super fast on my Android phone and set up stuff. And I was just setting up a TV for him, and it needed to do it on his phone. And I'm like, your Apple crap phone does not do anything easily. It wouldn't let us download stuff easily. It wouldn't let us install or do this and that. It was just a horrible experience every step of the way. And I'm like, this is why I got Android. But Microsoft doesn't want to be like that anymore, or they're trying not to be as closed anymore because governments and politics and lawsuits like to Apple for being closed ecosystems and monopolies has been the talk of the town lately, and they don't want to be caught in that fire, in that lime fire. They want to be as open as possible so they don't get regulated or people try to come or governments try to sue them and stuff. So you got that. Let's see here. Xbox is gearing up for more big announcements, potentially including accommodating third-party stores on Xbox, a first for the mainstream consoles. Plus, here's another thought, and other people had this thought before me, so I can't say I had this as original thought, but other people had the thought of, if we also want allowing to have these third-party stores on the Xbox console, we can get a small, not our 30%, but we can get like a small, I don't know, 10% or whatever, 10% back from those game stores, from purchases from those game stores. They can get a little bit of money from them as well on the Xbox consoles. That's what they're thinking. They're like, we can earn a little revenue from these guys by charging a small percentage, but it's not like we're keeping them off our console. We said, hey, you can join our console. You just got to put it's going to be a little percentage per game that you sell through our console. And it's like, there's a percentage, so they'll make a percentage, but they'll keep it open because they're like, hey, we could sell our games, you could sell your games. Everybody can sell their games on our storefront here. It's just going to be weird that it's going to be on the Xbox. Is it going to be on this Xbox? Probably not. Future Xbox? If it's even more PC-like, or if it's a PC handheld hybrid like the Switch, which I would love to see, probably. And third-party storefronts, they make more money. Microsoft makes more money. Everybody's more happy, and Microsoft's more connected and more hooked in there. Stuff that Sony would never do, because Sony's not going to do that. They're not going to open up their platform for third parties, even if they can get a percentage from each game sale from those third parties. No, they want people to pay them to put their games on the PlayStation Store. So Microsoft's taking that unique, we go around this and we'll try to beat you like this, Sony. That's a good idea. And I think I already talked about this already, mostly, but this is the last one. This is, this is the Diablo 4 debacle that I have to play it on my Xbox Series X because I don't want to install Battle.net to play Diablo 4 on my PC Game Pass. And, of course, there is no word on achievements because there is none. And, yes, in this article it says you have to install Battle.net to play Diablo 4. It is a bullshit thing, folks. I have to say, it is stupid because here's the thing. This is how you get Diablo 4 on Game Pass on your PC. And then you got to do all this stupid stuff just to get to play Diablo 4 on your PC. Open up the Xbox app on your PC. Make sure you're signed in with your Microsoft account, of course, tied to your Game Pass membership. Then click on Diablo 4 and then click on the install button. Click and install Battle.net because you're going to have to install Battle.net from that because that's what installs. When prompted, and complete your installation. If you already have a Battle.net installed, you can skip this step and it'll go to the next step automatically because it knows you already have Battle.net. You'll be prompted to connect to your Battle.net account. You'll be prompted to connect your Battle.net account to your Microsoft account. If you already have a Battle.net account, you can log in and complete the connection. Or from here, you can create a Battle.net account to make the connection. See, I don't have a Battle.net account. I don't think I do. And I don't want one. I just want to go into one thing. So you got to do an extra step, an extra couple steps just to get Diablo 4 on your PC Game Pass. Once you have downloaded Battle.net and connected your accounts, you can complete the installation Diablo 4. It is not a seamless process. It is not a decent process. And after all that, you're not even getting any Xbox achievements for it. You're not getting the Xbox side of achievements. Now, apparently, Battle.net has its own achievement system, and you get achievements in their system, but that doesn't mean you get achievements for your Xbox side of things, your Xbox achievements. And a lot of people are stating that they're not gonna get Diablo 4 on PC, that they think it's a waste of time and it's stupid that what they're doing, and I agree. I think even as a Microsoft Xbox fanboy here, I think that's a dumb choice, and I don't know why they did this. They could have changed. They had the time to do this right and get Diablo 4 just purely on the Xbox side of things, on the storefront. Put it on Game Pass and just have us click, install, and play. Get the achievements activated for us because they've already got the achievements on the Xbox side. They could just ported it over, patched it into the game or whatnot, whatever magic they do behind the scenes. I'm not a developer, but I'm sure it wouldn't have been that hard. And we could have had not only Diablo 4 on pure Game Pass on the Xbox PC side, but we would have had our Xbox achievements. I don't want nothing to do with, having another account. I don't want to create a Battle.net account. I don't. I shouldn't have to. I got an Xbox account. You own Activision Blizzard. You own Battle.net. You can get rid of that. You can slowly port all these games into the Xbox portion of that stuff. Why would you want to make somebody like me sign up for a Battle.net account just to get Diablo 4? I'm not going to do it. So that's why I downloaded it on Xbox. And then I'm going to play it on Xbox because I don't want to do that extra stuff. And I shouldn't have to. And that's enough said on that. And otherwise, everything else is peachy. That was the last news story. Maybe Microsoft will hopefully change that and change it up down the road. And maybe eventually they'll just put Diablo 4 on Game Pass proper on the Windows side of things and on the Xbox Windows Store side of things, and maybe they'll have them patch in achievements to that. Maybe. We could always hope. We could always pray and hope. There's always hope. But until then, like I said, I'll just play it on Xbox. I don't mind. I'm not jumping through extra hoops. I'm not signing up for Battle.net. Nah, don't really care about that. Right, Cartman? Oh, wait, wrong one. Hold on. There we go. Right, Cartman?
Dude, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. That's what he thinks about it. What do you think about Microsoft and Xbox making you download Diablo 4 through Battle.net?
Dude, go fuck yourself.
Yep.
That's a good game.
Enjoy your gaming.
Dude, go fuck yourself.
Yep, he even thinks that those two should go fuck themselves. And that's it, folks. That's the podcast. That's the gaming podcast in a nutshell. And boy, oh boy, I'm surprised we didn't almost hit 4 hours. I hope it wasn't too boring for you, this podcast of me ranting in the beginning. I try to get as much information as I can, and I try to give you my views and takes on everything in gaming. Like I said, in the future, there will be podcasts that are going to be shorter, I promise you, but there's just so much to talk about. After 2 weeks span of not doing a podcast and you get into the second week, there's just so much I got to talk about that I got to get off my chest. And if you're really wanting to be in the know, that's how you be in the know. And I always like to be in the know. The gaming industry is a fun industry to be in and not be in. And as a outside looker looking in and evaluating and studying and watching things crumble down to the ground, and then there's stuff like cool games coming up and playing these awesome games that I've been playing. It's been a great time to be a gamer. It's been a sad time to be a gamer in much ways. Being a game publisher or maker, that's a different story. If you're in the games industry, I feel sorry for a lot of you, but you're making great quality products for people like me. And I thank you. I thank you all. Like I said, going forward, I don't know this week on what I'm streaming on Friday. You will know on Monday through my OldFreakyGamer.com schedule. If you go to OldFreakyGamer.com, you go to click on the schedule part. I always have a new schedule that I'll make up for tomorrow. Or today, as you're listening to this podcast, it will be up, and you can see what I'm streaming. It's between Evil West and Diablo 4. I don't know which. I don't know which I'll be more hungry to play on Friday. And also, like I said, I will probably be having, I think Wednesday I will try for another bonus episode of Yakuza Like Me. It'll be the final bonus episode. It'll be the Yakuza Like Me, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth final bonus episode where I just play Dundoko Island and a bunch of side stuff, and I try to clean up on a lot of side stuff with Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and have some fun with that. And then I'll close out my playthrough with that, because after I do all that stuff and play the Dundoko and all that, I get tired of that. There's no need for me to play any more Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, at least in my mind, you know. Then I could go back to the older games and go back to all these other games. So as of that, folks, thank you for joining me on this podcast. Any comments, questions, whatever, please email me at oldfreakygamer@gmail.com. Comment in the comments section of this video on YouTube. If you're watching this video, the video version of this on YouTube, you know where to go. youtube.com/oldfreakygamer. And you can comment under this podcast thing. The podcast comments section is always open for comments, questions. You know, we collaborate together. I want to know what you guys are into right now in gaming wise. And, go to oldfreakygamer.com for all your other stuff. I'm also on Twitter, even though I'm not really good at tweeting. I'm mostly following and reading stuff, but I'm also on Twitter at oldfreakygamer. And I also stream Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on youtube.com/oldfreakygamer, twitch.tv/oldfreakygamer, and it's also on youtube.com, I already said youtube.com, at oldfreakygamer.com. So I'm Mr. Mike, signing out, saying game on, game hard, world conquest. I'm going to go eat something, and now I'm going to game. So I'm pushing this gaming button, and this show is now game over. See ya!
Set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want, and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm
That's a good game.
Enjoy your gaming.
Dude, go fuck yourself.